Good evening, everyone. Hello and welcome to a very different setup for tonight's World Darts Championship watch-along. It is day number 7. It is the evening session of the World Darts Championship, and we are back once again for some live action at the Ali Pali. It's going to be a very good night indeed for fantastic games to come our way, and really looking forward to it. And as I said a moment ago, it's a very different setup for me. It's a setup that, if I'm being honest, I'm not really comfortable with. Really don't like it, to be honest. It's the old setup that they used to have, no green screen today. And, well, it just looks incredibly dark in the room. It looks shit, if I'm being honest with you. I can't bloody see myself right now. And I'm surprised if you can fucking see me on the screen. But how are we all doing? Welcome along to the live World Darts watch-along. It's day number 7. As I said, oh, that's the wrong one. Day number 7 of the World Darts Championship. And we are back once again for some live action indeed. And I've changed setting. That's right, I'm not where I usually am. I haven't got my green screen. Which is really, really annoying because, to be honest, it kind of makes the setup look miles better. But I am in the dark today. If you're new to the stream, as always, do leave a like and a subscription. It is very, very greatly appreciated, as always. But we've got some brilliant matches to come today. And if I could get the light on to make it a little bit lighter in here, I would. But I've literally got nowhere I can put it right now. So I'm going to try and sort that out as the games do go on. But we've got 4 brilliant games to come up today. We're now well and truly into round 2 of the World Darts Championship, and there is a lot to look forward to. Christoph Ratajski, who's taking on Ryan Joyce in the first game of round 2 this evening. We have Ian Diamond White, who's taking on a very informed Kim Huybrechts, who got a fantastic win earlier on a few days ago against Zwang, I think it was. Gerwyn Price in an interesting game against Jamie Lewis. That is an all-Welsh affair, of course. And then we've got Gabriel Clemens in an all-German affair against Nico Kurz. No doubt that would have been a good atmosphere if it was at the Ali Pali. But if you're new to stream, as always, do leave a like and a subscription. It is very, very greatly appreciated indeed. And as I said before, number 1, I'm going to apologise for the setup. This is the old setup I used to have. I'm in this setup for the next week. It's incredibly frustrating, but unfortunately it's something I'm going to have to deal with for now. So I do apologise about that. And number 2, I want to say as well for the regular viewers on the channel, because I'm in a different setting, there may be some issues with frame rate throughout these streams. So if it does cut off at points, I do apologise. If it gets any worse, this video will still go live on the channel. But for those of you that are regular viewers, there might not be any more watch-alongs until the 28th of December. But that's only if we lose frame rates. But as for now, we haven't dropped a single frame. So I assume we should be all good to go over the next few days. Fingers crossed indeed. But tonight, as I said, we've got some really, really good action across the board. 4 very, very good games indeed. I'm just going to quickly sort this out a second because that looks a little bit too low for me. Let me just kind of put that down. There we go. That's better for me. 4 very good games to come. Christoph Ratajski, who's going to be taking on Ryan Joyce. That's the first game of the evening. Of course, we haven't seen Christoph Ratajski, the World Darts Championship yet. So it's going to be interesting to see how he does. And then, of course, Ian White taking on Kim Huybrechts. That's going to be a very good game. Of course, Ian Diamond White we've not seen yet either, but Kim Huybrechts looking very, very good indeed so far in this competition. Chris is in the stream. Hi, pal. Hope you're all well. Hope you're good too, buddy. Thank you for joining the stream as always. He's put his predictions in the chat, which I'll make, of course, my predictions in a moment for this. In fact, for all 4 games tonight. But let's start off talking about this match between Christoph Ratajski and Ryan Joyce, because I've got to say, I think this one is going to be a very, very good game indeed. Christoph Ratajski, ranked 15th in the world as it currently stands. Ryan Joyce, ranked 37th in the world. It's going to be a very interesting game to watch, this one. In terms of how these guys have done, we haven't actually seen Ratajski yet in this competition, but he was playing at the home tour a few days ago. In fact, it was only 10 days ago that he was playing at the home tour, which he lost his last 2 games. That was against Andy Bolton 4-2 and Luke Humphries 4-2. So he's coming off the back of a little bit of a disappointing run at the home tour. However, of course, we've already seen Ryan Joyce in play. He played against Karel Sedlacek in a fantastic 3-2 win. Really good game that was. And Ryan Joyce will certainly be coming in with a little bit more confidence than Christoph Ratajski. But as we've said before, it's one of those games where ultimately, at the end of the day, the very best and those ranked players in that top 32 will want to go out there and prove a point in these competitions. And no doubt I would expect Christoph Ratajski to be one of those players who will go through in the end in this game. Let's make a prediction for these matches. I think this game is going to end 3-1 to Krzysztof Ratajski. Ian White taking on Kim Huybrechts. I think that's going to end 3-2. And I'm going to go for... There's a part of me that wants to go for Kim Huybrechts, and I'm going to go for it. 3-2, Kim Huybrechts. That's my guess. We've got, of course, Gerwyn Price coming up against Jeremy Lewis. I think that's going to be a 3-0 win for Gerwyn Price. And then we've got Gabriel Clemens against Nico Kurz. I think that one's going to be a 3-2 win to Gabriel Clemens. But don't count out Nico Kurz. That'll be a very good affair, and just a real shame, actually, that we haven't got fans in the stadiums at the Ali Pali, because it would have been a very good atmosphere with an old Welsh and an old German game. And I'm going to try and, as I said, sort out the lighting issues. I do apologise for that. I didn't expect it to be so bloody dark in this room, but it tends to be, and well, because it's dark outside in the UK, opening the curtain will probably do nothing. So I will sort that out in a second. But both players are out onto the hockey, and I just want to say to all of you guys that have joined the stream, a massive thank you once again for all of the support on these World Darts Championship watch-alongs. I never, quite frankly, expected them to do as well as they have done over the last few weeks. So a big thank you once again for those of you that have turned up to these watch-alongs. But we've got some very good games on the board tonight, and we're going to be starting off here with Krzysztof Ratajski taking on Ryan Joyce. That game just starting in a moment here. So without further ado, let's put some music on in the background so we could chill out and relax tonight. And let me go and try out sort out these lighting issues, because it's fucking dark. And it's very, very frustrating indeed. So I'm going to try something here a second, just to make it a little bit brighter. So yeah, it should be a very, very good match overall, I think, this one. And realistically, Krzysztof Ratajski will be looking at a game like this and thinking, do you know what? It's not going to be an easy game to get through, you could say. A real test tonight he's going to have against Ryan Joyce, who, as I said, came through in that game 3-2 against Karel Sedlacek. It was a very good match to watch, actually. A really good game. Both players going for it in that match. But we are about to get underway with this game, and it means I can put on the screen, of course, as always, the scores for this game. So, as I said, I think Ratajski should go on and win this. And, you know, he's ranked 15th in the world. One of the better players in this competition. But in terms of his runs in the World Darts Championship, he's always been one of those players, I think, that realistically will look to try and get towards the quarters. Maybe even push for the semis. But I think that's going to be a very tough ask at the end of the day. But Ratajski here, already starting down at 4 or 5. And he gets himself down to 265 after 6 starts. So a very good start indeed here. Can Ryan Joyce match that? He's got a 364. He's on for the first 180 of the evening, which he won't get. But he does get a 140 on the board. So Joyce to 224. And Ratajski at 265 here. And it's weird. It's weird. I don't feel right. I've got the green screen and everything. It feels very different. It feels like a very B-Tech stream, which, to be fair, usually my streams are B-Tech. But it feels strange. I feel like I've gone back to basics once again. But we'll have to do with it for now. As I said, I'll have the green screen and everything back for the 28th of December. So we haven't got too long to wait before I'm back with the regular equipment that I have. But Ratajski here at 208. Joyce here at 167. And I think here we've got some really good games coming up. Really, really good games indeed. In terms of when I'm going to be live, by the way, I will be going live pretty much for the nighttime fixtures. I probably won't be live for the afternoon ones, which is a real shame indeed. But if anything changes, then I would highly recommend checking out my Twitter, which you'll be able to see in the chat is @the_top corners. Follow me on Twitter, and I'll keep you up to date, of course, when we are going live. And of course, if you subscribe as well, it will come up with a notification saying, of course, when I do go live. So a chance here of Ratajski at 68. Tries to get the 20 there. That tops, of course, but hits the 20. And Ratajski down to 20 here, and Joyce at 83. So treble 17, double 16 required for the first leg of the game. Gets 17. Gets 16, so he needs one dart of the ball. And he doesn't get anywhere near. So Ratajski with a chance at the double 10 to take the first leg of the game. You'd expect Ratajski to get it first time. And he does indeed, and that is the first leg of the match on the board. Krzysztof Ratajski taking an early lead in this game, as you would expect. And Ryan Joyce going to be under some pressure tonight, because as much as the Karel Sedlacek game was fantastic to watch a few days ago, of course. We've got a very different game on our hands here. You cannot really give Krzysztof Ratajski many opportunities in a game like this as he looks for the first 180 of the day and only gets a 140 on the board, which, as I said, as I always say, it's only a 140. It's still better than I ever could do in darts. But yeah, as you said, Chris, we've got a 180 on the board. First one, Ryan Joyce with the first 180 of the tournament. Not tournament. First 180 of the day in the tournament, of course. We didn't have an afternoon session today, which was a real shame indeed. But we should see a lot of 180s today. I think we should see a lot of 180s on the board. So Joyce here at 181. Ratajski at 221. And Joyce here with treble 20, treble 19 and 20, which leaves him down at a very good 44, which he's going to have at least 3, potentially 6 darts at. If Ratajski can put some pressure on here with the 221, gets the treble 20, then gets the 20, needs a treble here, which he doesn't get. So Ratajski at 121, Joyce at 44, you'd expect him to go 4 tops. In fact, he's going to go 12 and double 16. First dart misses, but he's a good marker at the double 16, and the second dart doesn't hit it. So Ratajski here with a chance at the 121, which he's going to have to get treble 20, treble 11, double 14. And only gets a 20 to start, which therefore means he needs treble 17. Bull gets treble 17. Bull for a 1-2-1 finish. Oh, just couldn't get it on the board there. And Joyce here with a chance at the double 8. Real big opportunities early on in this game to take a lead. And Joyce does get the double 8. And that's very good there for the Englishman. 1 leg apiece in this game. And I'm going to move this because this is kind of in the way. And I've got to say that I'm going to quickly just move this setup about slightly. Ooh, moving that. So I'm going to put this here. 2 seconds. Apologies. I should have done this before the stream, but it's all about messing about, isn't it, really? There we go. So, 1 set apiece in this game. And Chris has put in the chat, I would like to see Ratajski show potential and make a run. He will definitely win a major at some point. He's too good. Yeah, he's a very good player on his day, but ultimately, I think it's one of those situations, which I'm just going to turn them around the microphone because you are going to be able to see it. There we go. I think he's one of those situations where probably very similar to the likes of Huybrechts and Deswan. I think more Huybrechts than anything. You know, very good players on their day, but ultimately need to go on good runs in the future because I think both players will be very hungry to get some success throughout their careers. And, well, Ratajski and Huybrechts have got plenty of time, but they will certainly feel underwhelmed, I think, a little bit in how they play and how they get on in competitions. But Ratajski here at 221. Ryan Joyce at 267. And a good start there from Ratajski to get him down to 126 so he can finish. Joyce is going to have to pressurise it here with at least a few trebles on the board. Gets a treble 19. And then only gets 220. So a good opportunity here for Ratajski to probably have 6 darts of the 126 unless Ryan Joyce gets us the first big fish of the tournament. 2 treble 19s. Double 6 here for a 126 finish for Ratajski. Oh, that is beautiful from Krzysztof Ratajski. A 126 finish. And he gives himself a 2-1 lead on legs in this first set. And it's a very, very good start indeed as Joyce looks to get his first 180 on the board. Sorry, second of the game. And second for Ryan Joyce there. Can Krzysztof Ratajski do the same here? The answer is he can't. But he can get himself 140 to start off, which is a very, very good score indeed. Cannot complain of that at all. So Joyce here on for a potential 9 darter. Gets a treble 20. And then only a 20 and a 19. So not a bad score there. Does leave him with 2-2-2. However, Krzysztof Ratajski will be looking to get a little bit better here. For those of you, by the way, that are just joining, if you're new to stream, do leave a like and subscription. It is very greatly appreciated. And I apologise, I don't have the same setup as I tend to usually have for these World Darts Championships or watch-alongs. It's going to be a few days, unfortunately, before I get the setup back. Unfortunately, the Christmas period slightly ruining the usual setup I have, which is very frustrating indeed for me. But Ratajski here at 301. Joyce with that 180 a moment ago down at 126, but Ratajski does get himself 140 on the board. So Joyce, you would expect here, is going to have 6 darts at 126 with Ratajski all the way back at 161. Ratajski reminds me of Ian White, personally. Both brilliant on the floor, don't seem to turn up on TV, if you know what I mean. Yeah, to be fair, there's quite a few players that are like that. And I think at the same time, there's quite a few players who tend to show up on the floor. I mean, well, it's kind of the same point, isn't it, really? Andy Boulton, I think, is one of those players that does all right on TV. And I think a lot of people, when he played Dieter Hedman, probably thought, Dieter's going to go on and win it. But he's a very good player on the floor if you've seen him. But chance here for an 80 checkout from Joyce, which he isn't going to get. So an opportunity for Ratajski here. 25 and double 20 for a 65 checkout. He's going to go for the bull, which is, don't think what he wants here. So we get 7 double 4. 1 down the double 4 here for Ratajski for the sets. And he doesn't get it on the board, which means an opportunity here for Ryan Joyce to make it 2 legs apiece in this match. Can he get the dart in? Double 10 needed. Now needs double 5, which he gets. And we're going to a deciding leg in this first set. A very, very good start to this game indeed. Both players playing very well. Of course, we'll talk about the statistics a little bit later on when we do have a break in this first set. But Kevin's made a very good point. We do actually get to see Ian White in the next match tonight against Kim Huybrechts, which, again, as I said, are 2 players that will be looking to go a little bit further in these competitions. I know Bolton would win that game personally from what I've seen on the floor. Yeah, I think I meant more than anything for the players that only tend to watch kind of the TV televised events. You know, if you've seen Andy Bolton on the floor events that are on like the PDC website, like the Winter Series and things like that, he's a very, very good player on his day. But ultimately here, we've got a very good game on our hands. Both players averaging nearly 100. Ryan Joyce averaging 98. Krzysztof Ratajski averaging 105.79. It's a very good start to this game. And Ratajski here at 3-2-1. Ryan Joyce at 3-0-5. And a very good 1-3-4 there from Ratajski. So he's down to 1-8-7. With Joyce all the way back at 3-0-5. He's going to have to get a few doubles here. And trebles at the least. Which he doesn't. And only gets 100. So Ratajski has a little bit of breathing space in comparison to Ryan Joyce. He needs to set up a decent score. The Polish player, of course, ranked 15th in the world. And he gets himself 96 to leave himself 91. So he's going to have at least 3 darts here with the 91, Ratajski. How much pressure can Ryan Joyce put on him, though? That's the question. The answer is he only gets 82. So a real opportunity in this game for Krzysztof Ratajski. Bull 9, double 16 for the first set of the match. He'll go treble 17, which means he needs top for the set for a 91 checkout. And he gets it. And that is the first set on the board in this game. And it's Krzysztof Ratajski who started off fantastically well in this match. Averaging about 106, which we'll talk about in a little moment, of course. But for Ryan Joyce, you have to give him credit because he's playing very well indeed. And both players looking like we could be on for a very, very entertaining match indeed. But ultimately, in the end there, it ends 1-0 to Krzysztof Ratajski in that first set. And let's have a little talk about the averages in terms of how this game has kind of panned out so far. And the stats, of course, I think is the most important thing. So for Krzysztof Ratajski, he averaged 105.94 in that set, which is very, very good indeed and pretty much deserved in terms of how he got that set on the board in his average. But look at Ryan Joyce's average as well. I know you can't see it on the screen, but Ryan Joyce averaging 98.5. That is one of the higher averages we've had of the tournament so far. And he's obviously a set down right now, which is a real shame for him. In terms of the 180s, we've had 2 180s on the board, both of them going to Ryan Joyce in this game. We've already had 8 140 pluses from Krzysztof Ratajski in comparison to 4 from Ryan Joyce. However, in terms of the checkouts, Ryan Joyce averaging not averaging, but he is getting 28.57% of his checkouts. That is only 2 out of 7 opportunities to check out in this game. As for Krzysztof Ratajski, 42.86%. That is 3 out of 7 checkouts, with the highest one of the match from Krzysztof Ratajski being that lovely 1-2-6 that he checked out, I think, to get that second leg on the board in this game. But apart from that, if you look at the statistics of the match, realistically speaking, you would expect this to be quite a very close fought game. Both players averaging just under 100, looking very strong in this game. And realistically, if Krzysztof Ratajski can continue that run of getting 100 plus average, which, if I'm being honest, probably isn't. I think the pace will maybe die off a little bit in this game. But if he can keep running like that, Ryan Joyce is going to be under a hell of a lot of pressure to be consistent with that 98 average he's got so far. And realistically, if I was to ask the question of who was more likely to keep 100 average through 3 sets, I think 9 times out of 10 most people would probably say I'd expect Krzysztof Ratajski to be that man to kind of continue on with 100 average plus in the match. I'm pretty sure most of you would agree with that. But let's have a look to see what you guys have been saying in the chat. Harry, how are you doing? Hope you're good. Welcome to the stream. But he says, how far do you reckon Van der Voort can go? I mean, I think for Van der Voort, he will be looking and thinking to himself, I want to go to the quarters and even further. He's a great player on his day. Of course, had that scare when he went 2 sets down in his previous match. But I think he will look at this competition and think, I could easily make the quarters if I'm on, a good run and I don't have the injury issues, which we know he's had for a little bit of time now. And that's his one worry. Will the injury issues come into play and cost him a little bit? I don't think it will. I think he's a very good player on his day, but ultimately, you never know with tournaments like this. Things can crop up left, right and centre. And, well, we've already seen, of course, Kleermaker unfortunately getting a kind of a period of COVID, which means he can't play in the games. Let's see what you guys were saying. Michael saying, I think this is Price's year. In terms of my prediction for the final, Michael, I think I went on day number 1. I said I think it's going to be a Van Gerwyn Price final. I think Van Gerwyn wins it. But you never know with Gerwyn Price. He's looking well and truly on form. How we doing, David T? Says, evening, Shag. How we doing, Shag? I hope you're all good, mate. And then Chris has put as well, saying pretty much what I was going to say myself. If Van der Voort doesn't have injury problems, then he can definitely make quarterfinals. I think he could as well. I agree with you with that, Chris. And then Benny's in the chat. How you doing, Benny? Hope you're all good, buddy. Welcome along to the stream. Good to see you, as always. But if you're new and you've enjoyed the watch along so far, do leave a like and a subscription. We've got plenty of good games across the board tonight in the World Darts Championship. We're now well and truly into the second round of action. Of course, yesterday we had the last round 1 fixture of the tournament, which was very, very good indeed. But overall, we're back into this game. David's put, it can't be a Price versus MVG final. Can it not? Oh, fuck, they're in the same bracket, aren't they? Fucking hell. Somebody, I need to check the bracket. They're in the same section, aren't they? They'll play in semis. Bollocks. I need to have a look at the bracket. That's probably a good idea. I'm sure that's the run, isn't it? Let me go and find out the bracket myself to see roughly what it is. Because you might actually be right here. And I'm terribly wrong. But we've got a chance here at 180 for Ryan Joyce. And that is the third 180 on the board for Ryan Joyce of the game. And, well, we started off with a very good first set. Are we on course for another very good second set? As Ratajski looks to get a 180 of his own, but he can only get a 140. And as I always say, it's better than I could ever do. But I think you're right, David. I think you might actually be right. And Price and MVG can come up in the semis. Somebody who's a little bit more experienced than me, is that possible? Oh, there we go. Chris, they can play in final. MVG's number 1 seed, Price number 3 seed, so they can MVG top half, Price bottom. Okay, that's all right. I thought for a second I'd gone horribly wrong, and I'd made a prediction that could never happen. But no, at least we know they can both play against each other, which means I can still stick with my prediction. But we've got a good opportunity here for a 1-2-7 checkout from Joyce, which he's not going to go for, because he's going to have at least 3 darts here at the double 16 with Ratajski back at 207. So can Ryan Joyce get the first leg of this second set on the board? That is the question that I think many Ryan Joyce fans will be asking here. And the answer is he absolutely can. That's a lovely double 16 finish there. And that is 1 leg on the board in this second set for Krzysztof Ratajski. Not Krzysztof Ratajski, it's Ryan Joyce. And it is Krzysztof Ratajski who is under a little bit of pressure here. Although, of course, he is a setup as it currently stands. And the Polish darts player, that is Ratajski, starts off here with a 99 in his first 3 darts of the second leg of the second set. Ryan Joyce only starting with a 58 there. Not the start that he wants to this second leg, especially when you've got a little bit of a run going. How are we doing, the man with no name? Hope you're all good, buddies. We've got a chance here for Krzysztof Ratajski 180, and the 180s are flying. That is the 4th one of the game and the 2nd of the match, I think, for Krzysztof Ratajski. And we are flying with the 180s tonight, which is always good to see. Achilles has put in the chat. Hope you're all good, buddy. What do you think about Clemens Kurz? In terms of the game, it's a real shame that one isn't being played with fans, as we have another chance here for 180 for Ratajski. He gets himself 140 to put him down at 82, which means he's going to have at least potentially 6 darts here at the 82 with Ryan Joyce back at 348. But I think that game would have been so much better with fans at the Ali Pali, because there'd probably been a lot of Germans at the Ali Pali tonight watching that game, of course. A lot of Welsh fans as well with the Price-Lewis game going on. But I think that is going to be a very good match to watch. Ultimately, I think Clemens will go through, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was something like 3-2 and it goes not all the way, but all the way in terms of sets. But as I said, it would have been really nice to have had that game in front of fans at the Ali Pali. It's one of those, isn't it, really, where this is where the Ali Pali shines. You know, we get to these kind of second round games as Ratajski gets a double 8 here to go 1 leg apiece in this second set. But it would have been nice when we get to these later games of the competition. You know, we're now starting to get a lot of really good fixtures as Joyce here gets another 180 in the match. He's really, really looking good tonight, Joyce. But Ratajski's as well. That's 5 180s in this game already, and we're only in the second set. Good start to this match, that's for sure. Chris has put Price versus Durrant final. Price wins, but don't listen to me. I said this one will be a surprise package. You never know, Chris. You made that early prediction with this one, but ultimately, maybe it might be this prediction that comes out on top. But both players here, averaging 100 plus. It's a very, very good game to watch so far. And you've got to say, Ryan Joyce is certainly playing up to the occasion. And, well, I mean, when you look at these two players in terms of world rankings, they're both very, very good in the world of darts. But ultimately, it's a very tight one. Could we be going all the way? We'll have to find out. But Ryan Joyce here at 164. Krzysztof Ratajski at 306. And Joyce just a moment ago only getting 57. So it does leave Ratajski a little opportunity to push forward in this game. But he's only down to 210. So Ryan Joyce at 164 here. He's going to have at least 6 darts at it. Gets the treble 20. Then gets another 20. Which means he's not going to be able to check out. But he does leave himself with a very good 24, which means he's going to have at least 3 darts to the double 12. Can Ratajski pressure? Gets the treble 20. And then gets another one alongside a 20. So 140 there for Ratajski. Double 12 here needed for Ryan Joyce, which he gets. And that is a 2-1 leg lead in this second set. And he is looking fantastic in this game. Really, really good indeed. And Ratajski looking really good as well. And this could be a very, very good game to watch, depending on if it can continue at this pace. With Ryan Joyce averaging over 100 alongside Ratajski. The man with no name saying that Durrant needs to play a lot better, though. I think he will play better now that first game is out of the way. Yeah, I think more than anything... Sorry about the yawn. Been a busy day of travelling. More than anything, I think first round nerves come into play, especially when you're coming up against a player like Portela, who, you know, no one had really heard of. He comes into this competition, starts off very well, and ultimately, I think for players like Durrant and that, as Phil Taylor said back in the day, you know, round 1 fixtures tend to be the hardest ones because, you know, if you don't have any experience of playing against some of these players, as Ratajski goes for 180 and gets himself 140 to leave himself down at, I think, 161. He's indeed with Joyce at 232. But it's one of those where I think it's hard coming up against opponents you don't know much about, which is why we tend to see a lot of very good games. I think Edward Fulks is another one of those games where nobody really knew much about him and he kind of became an overnight sensation at the darts. But Ryan Searle will go deep. No, I agree with you, Bernie. I said at the beginning of this tournament, I said I think Ryan Searle for me was an underdog because of how well he's played this year. As I'm going to stop for a second because Ratajski here, with an opportunity to make this 2 legs apiece, needs a 64 finish, treble 16, double 8. Looks like he's going to go for it. He only gets an 8, which means 16 double 20. Joyce on 20, so he's only going to get 1 dart here at tops. Can he get it? Yes, he does. Ryan Joyce with a chance here at the double 10. if he can get this one set apiece in this game. Now he needs double 5. One more dart with a good marker. And he doesn't get it. Oh, so big opportunity now for Ratajski. Once again, at the double 20 to make it 2 legs apiece. First dart's a little bit too high. But the second dart is spot on. And it's 2 legs apiece here. And Ratajski has an opportunity to go 2 sets up. This is a very, very crucial leg in the match already. And we're only about 15 minutes into this game. But back to your point, Bernie. I completely agree with you. I said at the beginning of the tournament, I think Ryan Searle for me was an underdog. And not necessarily in terms of being one of those lower tier players, but the run that he got looked in his favour. The year that he's had has been fantastic for him. He's gone on a few pretty good runs in some of the competitions. And ultimately looks like a very good player. In fact, I watched his kind of interview yesterday after the match. Not the Sky Sports one, but you know, the ones that they tend to do with the press afterwards. And he realistically, you know, he said as Ratajski here gets a 180 on the board, that's another in the game, and that's 6 in this match. But with the Ryan Searle one, he kind of said, I never felt like I was really in the game, you know, just one hitting, you know, God knows how many 180s. He kind of belittled himself to a certain extent, and I think that shows how level-headed of a player Ryan Searle is, and I really like him, and I hope that he can go on a decent run in this competition, but be interested to see what happens there. But Ratajski now has a real opportunity to take this second set of the game. He's got at least 6 darts at 48 here, 16 double 16 to go 2-0 up in this game against Ryan Joyce, and he gets it. 2 sets on the board in this game against Ryan Joyce, and this is it's a great game to watch. Both players averaging really, really high scores in this game, but Ryan Joyce will certainly feel a little bit disappointed he's not got anything on the board so far, because as it currently stands, it's Ratajski who is 2 sets up to nothing in this game. Of course, we'll talk about everything in a second with the statistics of the match, but I've been travelling back home though, no name. Busy day for me, so I'm here for the next week, and then we'll have the green screen and everything back once again to be able to do the live streams, because if I'm being honest, this setup I've got right now is fucking awful. I hate it. Honestly awful. I'm not liking it so far. But let's talk about the statistics of that match as it currently stands. Ratajski 2 sets up to nothing in this game, and both players once again playing really, really well in this game. Ultimately, I think this is one of the matches which the man with no names just put it in the chat, as he always says, a 2-0 lead means nothing at this stage of the competition. Somebody's trying to ask for a live stream. Yes, you can have a live stream. It is here indeed. But 2-0 leads mean nothing in this game. It's one of those where I think Ryan Joyce could get something back in this game. And in terms of the averages, they're both doing very well indeed. 106.51 for Krzysztof Ratajski and 99.32 average for Ryan Joyce. So both players playing very, very well in this game indeed. It's one of those where, you know, Ryan Joyce 9 times out of 10 in another game would go on and get a very good result with a 99.32 average. In terms of the checkouts, 46.15% for Ratajski, that's 6 out of 13. As for Ryan Joyce, only 33.33% of his checkouts, that's 4 out of 12. There's been 6 180s in the match, 4 for Ryan Joyce and 2 for Krzysztof Ratajski. Ratajski's hit 40 140 pluses in comparison to Joyce's 9 140 pluses. And ultimately, I said before, you know, 2-0, he's cruising in this game, but you never know, because both sets have gone pretty much down to a deciding leg. And Ryan Joyce has done very well indeed, but it does seem to be, we get to that last set, and Krzysztof Ratajski just turns it up a level. And fair play to him, of course, he's 2 sets up here. And we could already, potentially the next 10 or 15 minutes, have the first game done of the night. And we've got 3 more games coming up, as always. Ian White, coming up against Kim Huybrechts, has the best average of the tournament so far, I believe, Kim Huybrechts. It was around 106. He's coming up against Ian Diamond White. That's going to be a very good game to watch, of course, coming up straight after. We've got a all-Welsh affair between Gerwyn Price and Jamie Lewis. That's going to be a very good game to watch. You would expect Gerwyn Price to go on and win that game fairly comfortably. And then we've got an all-German affair, which sees Gabriel Clemens come up against Nico Kurz. That is the final game of the match. Looking forward to that indeed. But the players should be back out in a moment. Let's have a look and see what you guys have been saying in the comments. Chris saying that Ratajski has been relentless. Ratajski had his best. I mean, as much as I'm saying Ryan Joyce could have got something in this game, it genuinely is Ratajski just being so bloody good. I mean, he's currently on course, I think, for the best average of the World Darts Championship so far. And with the way that he's playing right now, I pretty much think he will have the best average of the tournament so far in this competition. And green screen overrated, not essential at all. I mean, for me, it's much better. I prefer having it. It looks more professional, professional looking and things like that. And for me, it was the green screen that I've got, which is back at where I am usually, is well worth it. Worth every penny that I spent to get it. And it's an absolute godsend for me in certain things that I do. Outside of course, what we do now on the Sports Corner channel. What's wrong with seeing a bed, wall, or table in the background? It just shows a place that's lived in, not some robot room. Yeah, that's very, very true indeed. Very, very true. I just like having it. For me, it's, as I said, more professional looking, and ultimately, I don't tend to really like having this setup because it's not just the green screen. The table that I've got right now with everything on is so cluttered and clustered. I usually have a mouse to be able to do all of the transitions and stuff, and I haven't got that, so I've got to reach over the microphone, and it's so bloody fucking hard right now. Ryan's put in the chat, what's the 180 split right now? In terms of 180s, 4 for Ryan Joyce and 2 for Krzysztof Ratajski as we get back underway with the third set of this match. And as it currently stands, Krzysztof Ratajski is 2 sets up in this game, and to be honest, I know we've said it's one of those situations where 2-0 leads are very dangerous, but with the way that the way that Ratajski's playing here, he's looking on course to take it 3 sets to 0. But don't discredit Ryan Joyce here, because he's averaging 100.65 and playing very, very well indeed. So it could potentially go on for a little bit longer than we expect, but we'll have to find out here. Ratajski down at 162. Joyce is at 170, which he'll be able to check out. Ratajski can only leave himself with a good finish. We're here to chat and enjoy the watch along. We don't care what the background is. You ask anyone here if they actually care about yourself. Yeah, true. It's a very good point. I think just for me, it's more for my benefit of doubt, isn't it? it's more for the benefit of doubt for me, and as well, as I said, it's more. It's not, well, it's about the green screen. If we've got a chance here for a 16, double 16 there for Ratajski. Checks out the 42, and that's the first leg on the board of this third set for Krzysztof Ratajski. Ryan Joyce is under some pressure. The game is slowly starting to creep away from him as his average keeps going higher and higher as this game continues on. Fair play to Ryan Joyce here. But as I said, for me, it's one of those where it's not just about the green screen, but it's about the table that I've got. In fact, let me show you what the setup's looking like right now. Let me take this for a second. Like, usually I have a big, massive table. This is what I'm kind of dealing with right now. It's one of those where it's so cluttered and clustered. For me, I can usually have a mouse. I've got loads of space on the desk. I haven't got that right now, which is frustrating indeed. But let's go back to the game, because right now, Krzysztof Ratajski is potentially 2 legs away from going through to the third round of the World Darts Championship. Ryan Joyce, who's played brilliantly well, is under the cosh, as I always like to say. Danny Max in the streaming, he loves the word cosh, and I've said it again for him. If somebody needs to do a cosh counter, because I must say it so many times in these World Darts Watch-Along streams. But there'll be another stream, of course, tomorrow. I'll talk about that a little bit later, because Krzysztof Ratajski here just having a little blip in this match. Well, I wouldn't say a little blip more than anything, as Joyce gets 140 to leave himself down at 170. So Ratajski here at 3-2-4 could be an opportunity for Ryan Joyce here to get a leg on the board and make it 1 apiece in this third set. Can he do it? Ratajski gets 96, so 228 for Ratajski, 170 for Joyce. And we haven't actually seen a big fish finish in this tournament so far. I mean, we're not going to see it here from Ryan Joyce either, as he gets 60 to leave 110. With Ratajski back at 228, he's going to have at least 3 darts here at the 110. That's treble 2018, double 16 required. So big opportunities in this game. Starts off with a treble 18. Gets tops, which means he now needs double 8s. I think a bit of a miscount in his head there, Ryan Joyce. So double 8 needed, which he gets, and that is a leg on the board. And I think there was a little bit of a mistake there from Ryan Joyce. I don't think he actually originally wanted to go for that tops first, but he did. And in the end, gets himself the finish that he required. It's 1 leg apiece in this 3rd set, and he'll be quite happy there that he's been able to get it. Of course, not the most bizarre finish we've had at the tournament. Of course, we saw John Henderson's, I think it was a treble 11 and double 1 finish, which was a very, very weird way to check out the 35, I think it was in the end. But as the man with no name says, a very weird way to take out the 106. I think he must have miscounted in his head there in terms of how he wanted to check it out. Completely skipped over the 16 that he needed for tops. Hopefully you feel better tomorrow, Chris. Fingers crossed for you. Hopefully you do feel better. It's not nice when you come down with colds and cough, especially at this time of year. With no doubt you've probably had about 100,000 people say you've got COVID as a joke. Unbelievable. But Ratajski here at 346. Very good score there, 134. So he's down already to 212 and puts a lot of pressure on Ryan Joyce here. He's going for the treble 19s. He gets 1 on the board and only gets 119, so very unlucky there. Joyce at 282 and Ratajski at 212. Chris, Jose de Souza way of taking a check out. It probably is, to be fair. Jose de Souza is either checks it out weirdly or just forgets what numbers he's on and doesn't check out in the end because he's made a miscount. Very Jose de Souza thing to do. And then, yeah, the man with no name has got it spot on. Get yourself plenty of water and lem sip. Put your feet up, Chris. Relax. Enjoy a night of darts, because we've got a very good night indeed. So Ratajski here at a 154. He's not going to be able to check it out. But he is going to have at least 3 darts here with Joyce down. Joyce isn't down. Joyce is at 222. He gets 96 there, Ratajski, to leave 58. That's 18 and double 20. Can Joyce put any pressure on? So Joyce gets 96 here and leaves 126. Ratajski here, 18 double 20 to put himself 1 leg away from the 3rd round of the World Darts Championship. First dart doesn't go in, but he's a good marker. And the second dart doesn't go in. And, well, this is a big opportunity. Ryan Joyce needs to check out the 126, or else you would expect Ratajski to go 2-1 up on legs in this 3rd set. He's going to start with a 19. He needs a treble 19 on the board and a bull. Big opportunity in this game. Gets the treble 19. A bull here for a brilliant 126 checkout. Can he get it? The answer is, he just can't. Gets the outer bull. So Ratajski here, an opportunity at tops. And he gets it. Double 20 on the board there for Krzysztof Ratajski, and he's potentially 1 leg away here from going through to the next round of the World Darts Championship. Ryan Joyce 2 sets down. He's got a long way to go if he wants to come back in this game, and with the way that this game has gone, he's averaging a very, very good score indeed, but Ratajski just looks on another level right now. Really a very strong performance, but it's not done yet. Although Ratajski here on for a 180, which he gets. And that is another 180. That's the 7th of the match. And with the way that this game is going, is he going to hit a 9-darter here, Ratajski? I mean, he's got to at least get another 3 180s on the board. So let's see what happens here. Krzysztof Ratajski doesn't get an opportunity there at the 9-darter. He hits 20, then 19, and 18, which is a real shame indeed. I hate the way the commentators pronounce De Souza, of course. They say De Souza, which is literally what I was just about to say a moment ago there. It does my head in. That Stuart Pike is terrible for it. Yeah, It is D'Souza, but they love saying D'Souza. Ratajski loves tops. He does indeed. He bloody loves tops. And then Bernie's put, have a joint, Chris. If it doesn't make you feel better, you'll forget he'll forget anything then, Chris. Bless him. Treble 20. Guess another one. 180 on the board here for Ratajski, maybe? Nope, just a 140. I don't know whether Chris would have a joint. He wouldn't want to forget the darts. He wouldn't want to forget the darts. I've had people saying that to me today. I just said, stop that nonsense. Oh, honestly, Chris, everybody does it. You have the sniffles and like, oh, it's COVID. Fuck off, is it? So 124 here for Ratajski. Treble 20. Treble 14. Double 11 for a 124 checkout to win the game. And it's just wide of the double 11. And now Ryan Joyce here has got to check out this 1-2-1 to take us to a deciding leg. Treble 17 he needs, and he's not going to get it, which therefore means Ratajski has 3 darts here at the double 11 to win the game and to complete a perfect performance at the Ali Pali. He's gone 6 and double 8 instead. Misses the first dart, but gets the second dart. And Krzysztof Ratajski is walking in an Ali Pali winter wonderland, because that was a sensational performance from Krzysztof Ratajski, who wins 3-0 in a brilliant game against Ryan Joyce. And that is one of the better performances we've seen at the World Darts Championship so far. And you have to give credit to Ryan Joyce. He played very well indeed, but ultimately in the end, Krzysztof Ratajski was just too good. And Ryan Joyce he's out of the competition. I was about to say Ryan Joyce, of course, he goes out. A very valiant effort from him there. But Krzysztof Ratajski averaged 100.41 and goes through to the next round of the World Darts Championship. A 3-0 win, looking very, very good indeed. And, well, whoever he comes up against in the next round, he's going to have a very, very tricky job on their hands, because right now he certainly looks in very good form. To say a player who actually was out of form initially, I said at the beginning of the show, of course, that realistically, Krzysztof Ratajski was coming off the back of a few losses at the home tour, but, the home tour, it really means nothing when you come to the Ali Pali. It's a different atmosphere, it's a different stage, a different situation, and in the end there, Krzysztof Ratajski gets a 3-0 win against Ryan Joyce, and a very, very good win indeed. I'm going to go for a second and quickly replenish my drink, because I've literally just gone through one drink very instantly. So I will be back in a minute. But as for now, a very good result there for Krzysztof Ratajski. I will be back in a few minutes, so do stick around. We've got another game coming up in a second. Another very good game, in fact, in white, taking on Kim Huybrechts. Of course, the man who actually averaged the best score of the tournament so far, Huybrechts. But it's not going to be easy against Diamond White. I'll be back in about 2 seconds. See you in a minute. I'm back. My apologies. I need to go and get a drink there. Usually, I replenish myself with plenty of drinks throughout these watch-alongs. But I'm back. What a good game that was, though, in the end. Let's talk about the stats of that match. While I was gone there for a second, Krzysztof Ratajski in a 3-0 win against Ryan Joyce. And as I said a moment ago, Krzysztof Ratajski averaged 100.41 in that game. Fantastic score in terms of his averages there. Ryan Joyce with 96.12. But ultimately, it was just a great performance from Krzysztof there. Just relentless. He got 3 180s in comparison to Ryan Joyce's 4. In terms of 140 pluses, Ratajski got 17 in comparison to Ryan Joyce's 11. 100 pluses, 29 for Ratajski and 27 for Ryan Joyce. But it's the checkout stat, realistically, that was the most important one. It's one of the more impressive checkouts that we've had percentage-wise in the tournament so far. Ryan Joyce with 35.71, that's 5 out of 14 overall. As for Krzysztof Ratajski, 50% bang on, 9 out of 18 of his checkouts completed, and a really, really good performance from him. And I have to say, one of the better performances we've seen of the tournament so far. To say that Ryan Joyce was playing very well, as I said, I don't want to give him too much credit because he lost 3-0 in the end, but I think even Krzysztof Ratajski himself will know that Ryan Joyce, at points, was playing a very, very good game indeed, but ultimately, it's just a better performance from a better player, and Ratajski there will be a very dangerous man to watch in that third round when he plays after the Christmas period. Of course, now he gets to kind of sit back and relax for a few days before he's back into another match. But, talking about another match, let's go on to the next game of the evening. We've had that match between Krzysztof Ratajski and Ryan Joyce. We're now moving on to the next game, which is between Ian White and Kim Huybrechts. And it's one of those games which I said before, he's one to watch out, because Ian White, I haven't really seen much of him. Oh, that's 2 of me on the screen. Give me a second there. There we go. Bang. Ian White, one of those players that, you know, on his day, he's a very good player to watch, but doesn't tend to really do as good in these tournaments on TV. A little bit of pressure. But Kim Huybrechts, on the other hand, certainly was a player that looked very good in his match a few days ago, of course. He averaged over a ton. In fact, I'd like to get up his average from that previous game, so give me 2 seconds here. So, of course, he played Dizwang, won 3-0, and got himself in that match. An average of 104.05, so not the 106 I was saying, but 104 is still a very, very impressive score to get in that match, even if Dizwang was very poor in that game. But he will come off the back of very good confidence. I know they were actually saying beforehand that realistically, I think Kim Huybrechts has been saying he, in terms of his practicing, has looked a lot more confident and feels comfortable with his darts and how he's been playing in terms of his practicing, which is always good to see. But is he going to be able to bring that to the stage tonight? Because as much as he had a very easy game against Dizwang, looked very comfortable in that match, this is a completely different ball game. He's got to play Ian White, ranked 10th in the world, and hasn't, of course, played at the World Championship so far. But let's have a look in terms of their head-to-heads. Not necessarily head-to-head against each other, but in terms of their recent results in previous games. As I said before, Kim Huybrechts had a very good game against Dizwang, won 3-0, best performance in terms of the average scores of the tournament so far. But will that give him enough confidence to go into this game against Ian White? Because Ian White hasn't played since the end of November. His last game was a 10-8 loss to Joe Cullen. That was a few weeks ago, of course. That was at the Players' Championship finals. Of course, he'd be a little bit frustrated that he didn't go on and win that game. But his other results, he got a 6-3 win against Gabriel Clemens. He got a 10-4 loss to James Wade at the Grand Slam. But he did win 5-1 against Dirk van Dijvenbode, indeed. It's, of course, he's one of those players, we said about it before. He can be good when he wants to be, but sometimes he tends to flop on TV. Do I think he's going to flop tonight? I don't think so. But I think it's going to be a tough game. I think this will end 3-2. I'm going to stick 3-2 to Kim Huybrechts. But we never know. We saw today, of course, Krzysztof Ratajski win 3-0. Are we going to see something very similar? Because we've had quite a heavy trend, haven't we, of 3-0 results recently. All the games yesterday pretty much ending 3-0, if I'm correct. But let's have a look and see what you guys have been saying in the chat before we get underway with the next games tonight. Bernie Smith saying the next game could see the highest joint average. Potentially so. I mean, if Kim Huybrechts can go into this and continue on that form that he had in the original game against Dizwang, then we might certainly be on for a very high average indeed from both players. And then Mammy No Name Support, maybe it's just me, but I find Kim Huybrechts annoying and just moody looking. Don't really like him. That's probably what most people think about me when it comes to my streams. But no, jokes aside, 68 people only watching the stream. Only 2 or 3 actually speaking. Lol, speak up, guys. Say hi. Yeah, exactly. For those of you that are, sitting back and watching, don't be afraid to put anything in the chat. I'd like to think I'm a friendly person. I hope. But come and join us in the chat. We've got a good community on here. And if you haven't subscribed, of course, then it's certainly well recommended to leave a like and a subscription. It is always very, very greatly appreciated. We're trying to push towards... well, the original target was actually to push towards 1,400 subscribers before Christmas. But you guys have absolutely smashed that. And you've already got us well above 1,400. And we've had a few more subscribers today. We're up to 1,422. So for those of you that have subbed, have the Gareth Bale heart on me. Thank you very much for subscribing. It is very, very greatly appreciated. And come and join the community, because we've got a very nice community indeed with the World Darts Championship. But we're about to get underway with the second game. Both players just about to come out onto the hockey and do their walk-ons. Put your prediction in the chat for these games. I said before, I think I'm going to go with a 3-2 win for Kim Huybrechts. But can the Hurricane put in a relentless performance? That's the question. We'll have to find out in a moment's time. But I've missed one of your comments at the moment, No Name. Let me scout my eyes up to your comment. There we go. I guarantee most players would say they would rather lose every other title if it meant they would win the World Championship. They would bite your hand off and say, yes, it towers above the rest. Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you said to... I'm trying to think of a player who tends to dominate tournaments. Let's say James Wade, for example. I think if you said to James Wade, you could hand in every trophy you've won from every PDC tournament that you've ever played in to get yourself a World Darts Championship, and win it. He'd probably trade every last one in. And I'm pretty sure most players would do that themselves. Realistically, it's the dream, isn't it, for the majority of players out there. In fact, I'm saying for the majority, for every player, it's the dream to win the World Darts Championship, if we're being real. And I think most would probably do that at the moment, No Name. I agree with you on that. I agree with you big time. But we're about to get into this next game. Both players now on the hockey for this match. Ian Diamond White taking on Kim Huybrechts. And this is what I love. We're now getting to that stage of the competition where we get a lot of very, very good games. A lot of very interesting matches indeed across the board. Question is this going to be another interesting one? We'll have to find out, as both players just have a few practice darts on the hockey at the Ali Pali. Of course, we've still got no fans at the Ali Pali, which is a real shame. Hopefully there can be fans again soon. But what's going to happen here? Put your score in the chat and let's find out what goes on in this game between Ian White and Kim Huybrechts. We'll just move that score so I can't see it in this second round game. And just while actually we wait for this game to start, I will be live again once again tomorrow. Now I won't be live, unfortunately, for the afternoon session. I think the way it's going to work with my watch-alongs is I'm probably going to be doing the evening sessions for this period of time. But the afternoon session tomorrow, for those of you wondering what's going on, we've got 4 very good games indeed. Really looking forward to it. There's Brendan Dolan, who takes on Edward Fulks, of course, became an overnight sensation at the Ali Pali. Joe Cullen, for the first time, he comes up against Wayne Jones. Simon Whitlock against Darius Labanauskas. That's one of the pick of the bunch ties of the second round. And then Adrian Lewis, who's out of form, comes up against a very interesting Danny Baggish, who comes into this game in form after beating Demon Heta. So that should be a very, very interesting game indeed to watch. And then tomorrow night, I'll be live once again from 6:10. It looks like we should be fine. I thought I was going to drop a lot of frames, but we're doing all right tonight. But tomorrow night, we've got 4 of the games going on. Danny Noppart takes on Karalisson, who was given a bye into that second round, of course, after Clearmacher had contracted COVID. We've got Devon Pidison coming up against Steve Lennon. Rob Cross taking on Dirk van Dijvenbode. What a game that one's going to be. And then Dimitri van den Berg against Paul Lim to end the night. What a game that's going to be to end off day 8 of the World Darts Championship. As we get the first 180 on the board of this match. And he goes to Kim Huybrechts, who's certainly smashed in a few 180s in his game against Deswang a few days ago. How many can he smash in tonight? As Ian White gets himself 140 to leave himself down at 121. Huybrechts at 177 here, so he's going to have at least 3 darts at that 121 Ian White. But a 137 means that Huybrechts is at 40 as well, so no pressure here, Ian White, to check out the 121 and kickstart this game. Gets 20. Gets treble 17, which means he's going to have to go for ball. And just gets the outer ball, which means Kim Huybrechts with an opportunity to get this first leg on the board. Double 20 needed. Now needs double 10. Now needs double 5. Third time lucky for the Belge. For the Belgian, he gets it. Double 5 on the board. And that's the first leg of this match. Going to Kim Huybrechts. A very, very important first leg that could turn out to be. Kind of settles the Belgian into this game. And once again, he'll certainly be delighted with how he's been playing recently. I said before in his interview, you know, he's been saying to himself that he feels like he's playing the best darts that he's played quite recently in terms of when he's been practicing. Will it come into play here? That is the question. Well, he starts off with a 1-3-3 there to leave himself down at 3-6-7 after 3 darts. It's a good start to this game. And as I said, I think Ian White's got a very tricky game on his hands here. But he replies with a 140, Ian White, which means Huybrechts now is going to have to reply himself. He might be on for a 180 though here, Huybrechts. But he gets a 140. Good pace to this game to kickstart the match. The man with no name saying there he thinks it's going to be a White 3-1 win. Interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. It's a very good game so far. Even if we're only 2 legs in. White down to 81. Huybrechts at 227. Can he get a leg on the board here and make it 1 apiece? Wonder where Chris has gone. So treble 19, double 12 here for Ian White. Starts off with a treble 7, not what he wants. Which means he's going to go 20 tops instead, which might be more convenient for him. And he doesn't get it. So he's going to be down at double 10. Huybrechts at 127 here. Big checkout potentially for him if he can get it. Treble 20. Needs treble 17. Which he's not going to get. So bullseye instead. And he can't. Can you commentate like the horse jumping commentators do? Well, to be fair, I've never watched... Oh, like in terms of horse racing. Imagine darts being like horse racing commentating. But eyes on here for the double 5. I don't even know how it goes. Nightmare. So, White's just missed here. So a chance for Kim Huybrechts. A double 16. Now needs double 8. And he doesn't get it. In fact, I think he's busted his score. So, Ian White here, with an opportunity at the 5, needs 1 double 2. He's going to have at least 2 darts here to get a break of throw. And a leg on the board. Gets a 1. Now needs double 2 for the leg. Good marker for the last dart. And he doesn't get it. Well, this is a really, really poor start to this game in terms of finishing in this leg. So, chance here for Kim Huybrechts. Gets the 1, needs the double 16 to go 2 legs up in this first set against Ian White. Oh, he's left himself in a bit of a tricky position here. But he gets it. And that is a leg on the board there for Kim Huybrechts. He goes 2 legs up in this game against Ian White. And it's going to be a very, very nervous start here. Ian White, very, very poor on his checkout. All he needed to get was a double 2. And he didn't get it in the end. Try and do it. Oh, man. When we get down to the to the latter stages of this leg, then I'll give it a go. I don't know how you do it, though. It's relentless. As you said, they talk a million miles an hour. It's mental. How do you even train yourself to do that? It's crazy, isn't it? It's impressive, but crazy. I'd like to kind of sit there and watch a bit more horse racing, because I don't ever really tend to watch it, if I'm being honest with you. But like the way the commentators do it, it's mad, isn't it? Kim with the over celebrating. Yeah, I mean, it's quite an interesting way to celebrate only being 2 legs up, but he definitely feels in control of this game right now. And I think Ian White is probably going to go one set down here, if I'm being honest with you. I think Kim is in control of this game. And Ian, maybe is it nerves to start off in this game? Just couldn't get that double two. While Kim looks very comfortable, he's already had the experience of the Addy Paddy, of course, this year. Where can I watch this live? If you're in the UK, Matt, I think you can access Now TV. It's on Sky Sports for the World Darts Championship. If you live abroad or in America, I think you can go, if you go on PDC.TV, I think you can get a month membership for a couple of dollars, and it gives you access to these matches. Chance here for 127 checkout from Ian White. That is a lovely 127 checkout, and literally just as I said, he couldn't check out a double two. He checks out a 127 and gets himself a leg on the board. So 2-1 on legs here in this first set. And Ian White is going to have to win the next two if he wants to get a set on the board. Matt Berger saying USA. So yeah, if you're in the USA, I think PDC.TV, I think you can access it for a couple of dollars. I'm pretty sure. I don't know what kind of the pricing is in the in America. I know we tend to usually have. And there's another guy in here who usually tends to, who's from America and tends to watch it. So if he's in the chat, then he might be able to help you out, Matt. But I think PDC.TV, if you search it up, I think it should give you access to it. I think. Worth a try. If not, then perfectly legal streams will do it. Huybrechts Ian on here for a 180. Gets 140 there in the end. So Huybrechts down to 261. Ian White at 274. And as I said, Ian White under some real pressure here for this first set of the game. Gets a treble 20, a 20, and a treble 19 to leave himself down at 137. Kim Huybrechts going to have to try and get at least a 140, which he does, and does very well indeed. And does Kim Huybrechts maybe think here that the kind of tide is going to swing a little bit? Maybe. So 137 here for Ian White. He's not going to be able to check it out, which means 1-2-1 opportunity for Kim Huybrechts in this game. Gets the treble 20, needs treble 11. Oh, needs double 14 for a 1-2-1 for the set. Be a perfect way to end the set, and he gets it. And that is a big celebration from Kim Huybrechts. A 1-2-1 checkout to take the first set of the match, and he's looking confident on stage, Kim Huybrechts. As for Ian White, I mean, he did get a ton plus checkout there, but looking a little bit shaky in this match. And as it currently stands, Kim Huybrechts is one set up to the good against Ian White. And you have to give him credit because he's looking very, very good in this game indeed. But I think this one is a long way from being done and dusted. We've seen it before, you know, some of the better players have taken all the way up until the second set to really get into this match. But the thing is, it's not about his average, it's about his finishing. He's been very, very poor on his finishes so far. And in terms of the stats of that original first set, there was 180 in the match, which did go to Kim Huybrechts. There were 7 140s for Ian White and 5 for Kim. 11 100 pluses for Kim in comparison to Ian White's 12. But you have to look at the checkouts, which I'll talk about in a second. Ian White's averaging 107.61, which is a fantastic start to the match. Kim Huybrechts averaging 103.58, so two really good averages on the board, which, you know, if they can keep that way in terms of consistency. There was a guy in the chat earlier who said he thinks that this game could have one of the highest overall averages of both players put together, and it'd be spot on right now. But it's the checkouts. Kim Huybrechts only 33.33, which is not bad, but could be better. But Ian White, 12.5%. That's 1 out of 8 opportunities to check out that he's been able to get. And realistically, had, I think, at least 2 darts at the double 2 where we could have made things a little more interesting. I think we would have gone potentially there 2 sets each, 2 legs each even in that original first set. But in the end now, it's Kim Huybrechts who gets that set on the board. He's 1-0 to the good. And Ian White just needs to improve on his finishing here, or else we'd be in for a very, very good match indeed in terms of the actual statistics of the game. He's averaging 107 right now. He's doing everything he needs to, but his finishing's just been a little bit poor, hasn't it, Ian White? But we should get underway with the second set in a moment. If you're wondering what's happened tonight so far, we've already had one game this evening. Ratajski taking on Joyce, and it's one of the better performances we've had at the World Darts Championship so far. A 3-0 win for Ratajski. Looked very, very good in that game. Joyce averaged very nearly averaged 100 in that match himself, but ultimately just couldn't get anything out of that game because Ratajski was fantastic with his checkouts. But not to be said the same here for Ian White, who's averaging very high, but his checkouts are very, very low indeed. He's averaging around about, not averaging, but he's getting around about 13% of his checkouts so far. The man with no name saying who won the first set. It was Kim Huybrechts who won that first set. Let me just move it up. Give me 2 seconds. There we go. Should be able to see it again. My apologies. So 1-0 to Kim Huybrechts. I'm looking very comfortable in this game. And then Austin, how you doing, buddy? He's put no gin today. Just Pepsi. Well, I've moved now. I'm back at home for a few days. I have got gin, but I thought I'd take it light. And we'll just go for a Pepsi today. I wish they'd sponsor me. He added the gin to the Pepsi. I'm not even going to try that. Would that be nice? I feel like trying it, but I feel like it'd just be a horrible, disgusting mess of a drink. But somebody's probably made it out there as a drink, haven't they? No doubt. The weird and wacky world of mixing drinks together. But yeah, no gin today, Austin. No gin. Maybe tomorrow. Or maybe later on. Who knows? But we're going to get underway now with the second set of this match between Kim Huybrechts and Ian White. As it stands, Kim Huybrechts 1-0 up to the good in this game. And looking pretty good so far in this match. But I will go to the point what you said earlier, the man with no name. He was already celebrating with the second leg, which I thought was quite... No, it's not strange, because he can celebrate in any way he likes. I mean, Gerwyn Price, celebrates literally any leg, he possibly can get. But it's one of those where... Does Kim feel like he's in control of this game? I personally think he does, but... that break there for Ian White, as they always tend to say on commentary, might have done him some good. And, well, as I said, they're both averaging 100 plus, so... It's a very good game to watch so far, but realistically, Ian White has got some work to do. So you only have green screen at uni, not at home. No, it's a portable one that I've got, the man with no name. But my only problem was that if I wanted to bring it back, it's a massive, massive box that it comes in. That is like in a carry case, which, to be fair, because it's so big, I wouldn't class it as a carry case. It's fucking massive. But because I was going on trains and stuff with it, it's so big, I didn't want to go on a train today, and if it was a busy train, for example, I've got this big massive box that's this wide and this tall, and carrying it around on a train. So I thought I'll leave it. It's too much messing about in the end, so I've left it there for now. And to be fair, with the way that this room is, I can use it no problem, but it's spacing for lighting and things like that, which is a bit of a problem. It's something I'll definitely sort out when I leave uni at some point, definitely in the future. But yeah, if I tried bringing that home with me, it's not a massive problem if I'm in a car. But going on a train, it's an absolute nightmare, absolute nightmare. But Ian White here at 81, Kim Huybrechts at 64. Good chance here for the Englishman in Ian White to get himself a leg on the board with an 81 checkout. Needs double 12 here after hitting the treble 19. Now needs the double 6, which he won't get. And he continues on that poor run of checkouts, which gives an opportunity for Kim Huybrechts to get a break of throw if he could check out the 64. Gets 16, which means he's going to get another 16. Needs double 16 now. And he gets it. And Kim Huybrechts gets the break of throw, and he's capitalising on every mistake that Ian White makes in terms of his finishing. And the diamond, it is some serious pressure here. He's got to improve his finishing soon. It's only 10% now on his doubles. That's 1 out of 10 on his doubles so far. Kim Huybrechts at 40%, which should be well and truly more than enough if he can continue at that pace to go on and win this game. And, well, do you know, it's an interesting night, actually, because I looked at these games and went, do you know what, I think the majority of these matches could be quite close. But with the way that some of these games have gone already tonight, we could quite easily be on for like 3 games ending 3-0. I mean, I see with how Huybrechts is playing here. If Ian White's going to have to change something in this game because he's averaging very high, but he just can't seem to be able to check out. While Kim Huybrechts, he's averaging very high and checking out very well indeed. So he's got the perfect mix of both. And I feel like we could genuinely see here another fairly quick night on the board as we get another 180 on the board in this game. And this time it's for Kim Huybrechts. It puts him down to 1-2-1 and Ian White here at 2-6-5 and in danger of potentially going 2 sets down here. Very, very nervous times indeed. How you doing, Mystic Mac? In terms of what you missed, Ian White struggling to check out and Ratajski looking fantastically well. 1-2-1 check out here for Huybrechts. He tries it. Needed the ball but gets the outer ball and leaves 25, which he should get at least 3 darts here at. Unless Ian White checks out a 1-6-7, which I don't think he's going to be able to here. So 9 and double 8 for Kim Huybrechts to go 2 legs up in this second set. Guess the 9. With the way that his checkouts have been today, you'd expect him to get the 8 first time, and he does get the 8 first time, and that is 2 legs on the board for Kim Huybrechts in this second set, and he is 1 leg away from going 2 sets up against Ian White, who just cannot finish to save his life right now. But what he could get, I was going to say is a 180, but he goes for the treble 19 instead and only gets 139. And I've got to say, for a man who was talking quite big in the post-match conferences and things like that, Kim Huybrechts, he's living up to what he said right now. He's genuinely playing very, very good darts. And as much as we were saying earlier, I know the man with no name was saying he doesn't like him in terms of how he's played and that and things, and the way he kind of acts on the stage. But he's playing very well indeed. And currently, in both games that he's played, he's averaging 104 between those 2 matches together, which is very impressive indeed. But Ian White at 269. Kim Huybrechts at 306. Opportunity here for 180 for Ian White, but he opts to go for the treble 19 and gets 139 again. And there's a real good opportunity here for Ian White to get a leg on the board. Unless Huybrechts can put some pressure on, which he does. So he gets 1-2-3 here. Huybrechts leaves himself down at 183. Ian White at 130. 2 treble 20s and a double 5 to check out. Starts off with a treble 20. Needs another one here, which he doesn't get. In fact, I can't see where the dart is. It's a 4, which means he's not going to be able to check out. But he will have at least 3 darts here with Huybrechts at 183 and Ian White at 56. Who's your best player, Josh? For me, I really like Gary Anderson. I think I like him, but it's one of those where I do think he's struggling big time right now, and I don't know how long he'll have left of his career, as Ian White here does get another leg on the board, checks out 56 there at 16 and tops, and he's going to have to win the next 2 legs once again in a row as Huybrechts comes on for the 180 here and gets the 180. And for every opportunity that Ian White puts pressure on Huybrechts, Huybrechts puts on the pressure back to the Englishman, and he might be on here for potential 9 darter opportunity. That's the 3rd 180 of the match, all 3 going to Kim Huybrechts, I believe. But yeah, I like Gary Anderson. I think he's one of my favourite players, but I think he's struggling big time right now. And as I said, I don't think there'll be much of a career left for him, especially with his injuries and stuff. But I like Nathan Aspinall as well. Really love Nathan Aspinall. I've said it before on multiple streams. I think he's a great player, incredibly passionate, still so young and has got a long way to go. As Ian White gets a 180 on the board, and well, he's not going to go out of this game without a fight. Ian White down to 181, Huybrechts at 225. Huybrechts here just needs to leave himself with a decent finish on the board. He does get 140 there, and that is a perfect response to the 180 from Ian White. Not MVG then. I don't mind MVG, as I said. There's not really any players out there which I hate. I think there's a lot of people out there that are on the going price bandwagon in terms of hating him. And I don't get why. I like the passion that he brings to the game. Yes, he can be a bit of a snappy guy. As there's a chance here for an 85 check out of the bull for Huybrechts. But he just doesn't get it and gets the outer bull. But I like the passion, you know. I like the flair and the tension when it rises on stage. And, you know, you see the two players kind of having the chit-chat in the background. And all the little talk that they have. And I like Gerwyn Price and I like what he brings to the game with that. I know there's a lot of people like that don't. It's nice to have a bit of tension on the stage. But Ian White here has got himself back to 2 legs a piece in this match. He really needs to get a set on this board. It's a big opportunity and it's a massive leg in the match. Very similar to the original set that we had between Ratajski and Joyce in the second set. Could Huybrechts go 2 sets up to the good? Or will Ian White bring it back in this game? Chance here for 180 for Huybrechts. Gets a 140. And that's some early pressure on Ian White here, who's getting better as the match goes on. Starting to come back into this game a little bit. People just hate Price for the sake of it. Yeah, I agree with you. I think there's too many people out there that just hate him because they can. I think he's an exceptional player on his day and what he's brought to darts. You know, he's a passionate player. He's fun to watch. And as much as sometimes there can be tension, doesn't it make it that more fun? You know, when Gary Anderson and Gerwyn Price are both kind of having a small talk with each other and stuff like that, it's good fun to watch. But Ian White here on for a 180, which he gets a 140 and leaves himself down at 161. Kim Huybrechts at 261 here. Starts off with a 1, then gets a treble 19, and only gets 77 there. What's missed him out put? Ian needs to get the diamond whites. That'll sort him out. Well, he might be on here for a 161 check out. 20 treble 20. Now got 19, which means he's not going to be able to check out. But leaves himself with a very good score of 32. And he's going to get at least 3 darts here at the double 16 to take a set to his name. So can he do it? 3 darts here at the double 16. A massive moment for Ian Diamond White. Needs double 16. Now needs double 8. He's got 2 darts at it. Bit of an awkward dart that. It's going to make it tricky for him to get the double 8. And he doesn't get it. And now this is a real opportunity in the game for Kim Huybrechts to steal a set and go 2 sets up. He's at 50. He could go 18 double 16 or 10 and tops. Just takes a moment here to compose himself. Massive moments in these games. So he's going to go 18 double 16. He's got 2 darts here at the double 16. This is a massive moment in the game. And he gets the double 16. And look at the reaction. If you're watching this game, look at the roar there from Kim Huybrechts. He knows how crucial that is in the match. And Ian White, as he was just getting into form again, had got 2 legs back in that second set, but just couldn't get free on the bounce. And it's Kim Huybrechts who goes and gets himself 2 sets up in this match, and Ian White has got a real tough job on his hands here if he wants to get back into this game. And as Missed It Max has put in the chat, it's not looking good now for Ian, is it, in terms of him trying to get back into this game. And I mean, when you look at the stats, who was the guy earlier in the chat? I need to find it, because there was a guy earlier in the chat who said he thought that this game was going to have a very high average. Bernie Smith, if he's still in the chat, he said the next game could see the highest joint average. And I tell you what, right now, he's spot on, because the averages in this game, Ian White is averaging 108.69. Kim Huybrechts is averaging 106.55. I'm pretty sure that is the best joint average we've had of the tournament so far. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes with the last potential set, of course. Be interested to see if Ian White can get back into it. He's going to have to win at least 2 sets on the bounce. In terms of the stats, though, 3 180s for Kim Huybrechts and 1 for Ian White. 12 140s for Kim in comparison to the 13 that Ian has got on the board. But it's the checkouts once again. Kim Huybrechts, 42.86% of his checkouts. That's 6 out of 14. Ian White still struggling. Only 20%. That's 3 out of 15 on his checkouts. Looked like he was getting back into the game a little bit there, and just ultimately in the end his checkouts are costing him in this match and allowing Kim Huybrechts to go on a real run in this match and potentially be one set away from the third round of the World Darts Championship. He's looking very, very good indeed. In terms of the highest checkouts, 1-2-1 for Kim Huybrechts and a 1-2-7 for Ian White. But he's got to improve on his checkouts here, Ian. He's in real danger of getting knocked out by Kim 3-0, and he's not had a bad game. He's doing everything he needs to right, apart from his checkouts. He's struggling big time, and he just needs to compose himself on this break, because if he can get those checkouts, we could be on for a very interesting game where we could maybe see it go, 2 sets all, or potentially maybe even an Ian White comeback. But I think with the way this is looking, this is either going to end 3-0 to Kim Huybrechts or 3-1 to Kim at the very least. But never say never. We've had some good potential comebacks to the World Darts Championship. But if you are new to the stream, as always, and you've enjoyed the watch along so far, then I highly do recommend leaving a like and a subscription. We've got more sporting content to come on the channel. I'll be live again tomorrow night from 6 for the World Darts Championship. That will be day number 8, I think, of the World Darts Championship. Or is it day number 9? Have a check. Day number 8. I thought I was right there. Day number 8 of the World Darts Championship. We've got some good games tomorrow. It includes the likes of Devon Peterson, Rob Cross taking on Dirk van Dijvenbode, and Dimitri van den Berg in his first match against the Ali Pali legend. That is Paul Lim. So really looking forward to that one tomorrow night. So I'll be live from 6 for that. In terms of the evening session tomorrow, some very good games once again. Brendan Dolan taking on Edward Folks, the Ali Pali hero so far. Joe Cullen taking on Wayne Jones. I think personally one of the pick of the bunch in round 2. Simon Whitlock taking on Darius Slabanauskas, the Lithuanian. And then Adrian Lewis coming up against an in-form Danny Baggish. That's from 12 o'clock tomorrow. So we'll have another afternoon session, which I won't be covering, unfortunately. I've got a very busy couple of days indeed. But we're about to get back underway here with the game between Kim Huybrechts and Ian White. Kim Huybrechts is 2 sets up to nothing. And I've missed a few more comments again. I've just noticed the moment no name as you've put. I'm very sorry about that. Got to have needling darts. Who wants to watch 2 robots playing darts? Yeah, very, very true indeed. It's a good game so far. And then he put, I'm Welsh, but I don't like any of the Welsh players. My best is MVG. He's a great player to watch, isn't he, MVG? Just a relentless workhorse, I think that is the best way to describe him. Fantastic player to watch, and he's the one man that everybody looks at to become as a darts player, and he's got so long left in his career that he's said in interviews multiple times he wants to beat Taylor's record in terms of World Darts Championships. Can he do it? I guess it depends on how long his career goes for. Can he stay at the very top for a long period of time? Who knows? I think it'll be a very, very tough ask for him to do it. But he is the type of player that will work his socks off, practice left, right and centre and give it his all. And who knows? I think it'd be very hard for him to break the record, but let's find out in the next couple of years if he can ever do that. But Ian White here, he's back underway in this game against Kim Huybrechts. He's 2 sets down to nothing against the Belgian right now, and he's got some real work to do because he is potentially 3 minimum legs away from being knocked out of the World Darts Championship from a player who's talked the talk and is walking the walk and executing his performances very well at the Ali Pali. That is, of course, Kim Huybrechts, who is down to 167 and Ian White at 241. MVG said he will retire when he's 40, apparently, anyway. It's an interesting one because I just feel like he could go on for so long, and he will win more trophies for a long time to come. And it's one of those where maybe at 40, if he's on a little bit of a slogging career, will he retire and just take all of the appreciation and all the titles that he's won and move on? Or will he go like a Barney situation where maybe he knows that he's coming towards the end of his days, but he keeps going on because the money talks? I mean, I don't think we'll ever see MVG go the same way that Barney did, because Barney just completely collapsed. But he's a good player, isn't he? Chance here, though, for Ian White to check out 40 at tops, which he gets. And that's the first leg on the board of this 3rd set. And Kim Huybrechts, for the first time, is actually a leg down in this game. Although he is 2 sets up, so no... Well, there's a little bit of pressure, but it's Ian White, of course, who's under the pressure a little bit more in this game. Then Kim Huybrechts. And as the man with no names put in the chat, White 20% on the doubles, 2-0 down, but still 108 average. Darts is a weird game. Bloody is, isn't it? Absolutely. It's a weird game. But we love darts. That's what makes it so special. You could play the game of your life at the World Darts Championship, but if you can't check out, you could average like 110 plus, play the perfect game, but not check out anything, and give somebody on an average of 80 or an 85, for example, a win because their checkouts are 50% plus. It's a mad game, isn't it? Barney just wants the money. Yeah, I said it yesterday, I think, on stream. Or it was one of the days when we were live. Barney's definitely not coming back because he loves the sport. You know, don't have the smoke or the fog covering your eyes at the fact that he's probably ran out of money. But we've not ran out of 180s in this game, because that's another one on the board, and it's Ian White with the 5th of the match. He's down to 58. Kim Huybrechts all the way back at 257, which means Ian White has got a real opportunity here to take a foothold and maybe get a set back on the board. He needs a double 20 here. Misses the first dart. And now needs double 10, but he'll have at least 3 darts at that double 10 with Kim Huybrechts all the way back at 257. When Barney first came over to the PDC, he basically won everything, including the World Championship. Yeah, it is, you know, it's a fair point. I think Barney should have just stayed retired. I've heard, of course, John Parr, he's coming back too. We'll talk about that in a bit, as Ian White here, going for a double 4, which he doesn't get, and he will have at least another 3 darts again with Huybrechts at 199. But how much pressure is he going to be under here? Two treble 20s. And 159 overall, so tops needed for Huybrechts, but there's going to be 3 darts here with the double 4 for Ian White. Now needs double 2. And gets it. And for all of his mistakes on the checkouts there, he does go 2 legs up in this 3rd set, Ian White, and has a real opportunity to pounce back in this game and get himself a set on the board. But can Kim Huybrechts come back, because he's on a little bit of a slow burner here. The pace of Kim's game has just slightly dropped. Ian White's certainly coming back into this match, and we've seen plenty of comebacks in this tournament so far. But is it just a little bit too late for Ian White? Very similar to the situation we saw between Danny Baggish and Devon Heta, when Heta went 2 sets down and just left it a little bit too late, as Kim Huybrechts gets a 180 on the board. And look at the reaction there from Kim. He knows that's a big 180. That's the 6th of the match. And Ian White, of course, still has an opportunity to take a set here, as Kim Huybrechts needs to win at least the next 3 legs on the bounce. 80 averages has beaten 100. Exactly. And the stat you have to look at is checkouts. You can have 100 average and you know, you'd be getting like 30% checkouts. But if you've got somebody on an 80 average with a 50% checkout, you're more than likely to see them win. As Huybrechts gets another 180 on the board. He's not messing about now, is he? He's down to 81. And a very good opportunity here for Ian White to find himself under a bit of pressure. So treble 19, double 12 needed here for Kim Huybrechts. Ian White gets 1-3-4 to put pressure on him. So treble 19, double 12. He's gone down a different route here. He needs the bullseye, which he gets. And that is a beautiful 81 checkout. A very different way to go for an 81 checkout there. It's a bull he goes for and gets it in the end. And that is a massive leg on the board. And I've got to say, it's a big reaction there from Kim Huybrechts. He needs to win the next 2 legs on the bounce if he wants to get something in this match. Well, of course, take the set and win the match, of course, right now. Barney left his wife for a young slice. Probably needs the money to impress her. Yeah, true. I mean, he's got a very good, partner. But I know he was saying originally, in terms of when he was coming back, he was like, because I've got a new partner, she's given me the confidence to want to come back into the game. And it's like, you're not sugarcoating it for anyone who knows darts. He's not coming back because he's missed the game. Money runs out, doesn't it, at the end of the day? But the interesting one is John Parr coming back. I believe, he said on Sky Sports a few days ago that he's looking at going to Q School, which is an interesting one. I think John Parr, of course, very good player back in his day. You know, won a few World Darts Championships. I think he's won 2 or 3 off the top of my head. As Ian White here goes for a 180 and gets one. And this is becoming a very good match. That's another 180. That's 8 on the board in this game. And Ian White at 151 has a chance to maybe check out. He's going to have 6 starts here at the 151. This is a real opportunity to get a set on the board and put some pressure on Kim Huybrechts. Starts off with a 20, which means he's not going to be able to check out here. But as I said, because he's got 6 starts on the board, he's got plenty of opportunities in this game. So Huybrechts here at 200. What can he do to pressure the diamond that is Ian White? The answer is not much. Only gets 57. So Ian White needs 58 for a set on the board and a chance at a potential comeback. Needs tops. Now needs double 10. And doesn't get it. So if Kim Huybrechts wants to take this to a deciding leg, he's going to have to check out a 143. Treble 20, treble 17, double 16. And he's not going to be able to get it, which therefore means Ian White is coming back at the double 10 for a chance at the set. Yeah, he's a very good commentator. I do like John Parr when he commentates. Very well balanced in his commentary. As Ian White gets the double 10, and that is a set on the board. And he's still averaging around 105, and it's 2-1 in this game. Are we maybe about to see another comeback at the World Darts Championship? He's got a long way to go in this match. Still all in the hands of Kim Huybrechts, of course. But Ian White has been averaging over 100 for pretty much the entire game. And he's on for a 180 here to continue on that trend. And gets a 140 to start. He's letting himself go for sure. Yeah, he's letting himself go, John Parr. But the thing is, I mean, Mystic Mac has said it himself. They're all fat, let's be honest, lol. I mean, there's players out there that are a bit on the heavier side that still do good. I mean, look at John Henderson. But I think now we are in kind of an era where we are starting to see a lot more leaner darts players. Gerwyn Price, Nathan Aspinall, Dimitri van den Berg, Devon Pedersen. You know, all very lean players in the darting game. As we get another 180 on the board there. That's the 9th one of the game. I think that's the 6th one for Kim Huybrechts. And Ian White's averaging 105.34. Kim Huybrechts averaging 102. 3 180s for Ian White and 6 for Kim Huybrechts. So this is a really, really good game indeed. Really good game. But yeah, as you said, man with no name, Gerwyn Price, of course. A very, very fit person in terms of kind of his shape. Former rugby player, of course, as well. So no doubt he's always going to keep himself in shape. One of the much more fitter players when it comes to physique in the darting world. But this is the 4th set of the game. 2-1 as it currently stands. Kim Huybrechts was 2 sets up. He's given a real opportunity for Ian White to get back into this game. And he's on a little bit of a slog right now. Although he's just got 140 Huybrechts. So 94 checkout here needed for Ian White. 64 on the board for Huybrechts. If not, gets the bull. He's going to have 1 dart here with the double 16. Gets the 12. So double 16 for a leg on the board. Which he gets. And that's a 94 checkout for Ian White. A big checkout indeed on the board there for the diamond. And he puts himself 1 leg up in this 4th set. And Kim Huybrechts looking very, very nervous indeed as this game continues on. The more it goes on, the more it feels like Ian White is going to get himself back in this game. And I apologise. Still going to have to go. And I know somebody said in the chat earlier, I think it was it Mystic Mac who said he likes the background music that was on. It was indeed Mystic Mac. Thank you very much, indeed. Very, very greatly appreciated, of course. Makes life a lot more easier for me in terms of not having to sit there and be quiet. Oh, well, not be quiet, but in terms of not having to sit there and talk all the time. I'm not even going to acknowledge your comment, David. It's a bit of a stupid comment to put. Very silly, very silly comment there, David. You're not welcome on the Sports Corner if you're going to put comments like that. But then again, you've probably got 2 brain cells, so it doesn't help in that respect. But chance here for Ian White for the 180, which he gets. And that is another 180 on the board. That's 10 for the match. Another for Ian White. And he's starting to really get a good opportunity to come back in this game. The background music sounds like Elevator One. Yeah, it's just a like a non-copyright just background music that I've got. It is just not like non-copyright. Make me mod, I will get rid of him. I tell you what, you have been in here for quite a while, the man with no name. There you go, buddy. You've got the moderator. It makes my life easier. So 84 checkout now for Ian White. Gets to 20. Gets treble 11, which is not what he wants, and he's now not going to be able to check out because of that. Very, very careless indeed there from Ian White. And it gives a real good opportunity for Kim Huybrechts to check out this 48. I'm Josh's personal bodyguard. You'll love to see it, the man with no name. Of course, I do need a few more moderators in here, so the more that you guys are in and talking in the chat and stuff, I will put you guys as mods in the future. I think Mystic Matt, you're another one who I'll probably put as a mod over time. As Kim Huybrechts checks out the 48 and gets it on the board. That was easy, thanks. You're welcome, buddy. To be fair, I haven't got a great deal of mods on here. I don't tend to give it out often. But you've been in the chat over the last week. And you've made it a lot more easier in terms of these watch-alongs. I'll tell you that for sure. It's alright when you've got people in the chat to be able to talk to. I've done football watch-alongs in the past where I think I did Man United Chelsea. And this was about 2 months ago. The game ended 0-0. And there was literally nobody in the chat because I think the game was just that boring. No one was there. And ultimately, in the end, it was just such an awful watch-along to do because I got nothing to talk about because there was just nobody to respond in the chat to it. But it's much better with these watch-alongs because I don't have to sit there and constantly talk about the games. I can kind of slander on to different things as Huybrechts is on here for a 180 and another 180 on the board. That's the 11th of the match, and this has been a really, really good second round fixture to watch. Both players averaging over 100. It's 105 average for Ian White and 102 for Kim Huybrechts, but another chance here for 180. Oh, he gets a 140, and this is an absolute cracker of a match. Got to keep the streams interesting, you know. Yeah, exactly. That's why I thought originally I wasn't going to do a darts watch along because I didn't think it'd be popular enough on the channel, but funnily enough, it's actually I've only been doing this for a week, and it's the most popular sporting watch along that we've had since we started last year. And Ian White here had a chance to check out 81 and doesn't get it, so a good opportunity here for Kim Huybrechts to potentially go one leg away. Needs to check out 72 here, gets 16, gets 7, and he's not going to get it. He's absolutely cocked up. So double free here for Ian White to go 2-1 up on legs in this 4th set. Double free needed. He's only going to get 1 dart here at the double 1. How important could this be for Ian White? And he doesn't get it. So 7 and double 16 required for Kim Huybrechts. And this is a real good opportunity. 2 darts to the double 16. Now needs double 8 for a 39 checkout, which he gets. And Kim Huybrechts is making hard work of this, but he is 1 leg away from going through to the 3rd round of the World Darts Championship. And as much as Ian has been getting himself back into this match, he now needs 2 legs on the trot if he wants to take this to a deciding set. What a lovely game this has been to watch. 11 180s, both players averaging over 100. This is the type of match you want to see at the Ali Pally. And no doubt the crowd would be going absolutely mental at the amount of 180s we've had in the match so far. Mr. Dick Max saying, Ian, got to get this. Certainly do indeed. And the man we know is saying, only darts fans would be here unless you're a troll or something. Lots of people love darts. Yeah, that's the thing. I know that... The thing is, that I know how popular darts is, but I didn't know if it'd be popular enough to do a watch-along on the channel. I was originally going to do a watch-along for the Premier League semi-finals and finals a couple of months ago, but I didn't in the end. I just watched it on my own. But with the way that these watch-alongs have gone, as I said, the amount of views that we've had in the last week from these darts watch-alongs is probably more than I've had collectively from the rest of the sports put together. Maybe not football, because we've done a lot of football watch-alongs where we've done quite well. But in terms of the other sports, we've had so many people turn up for these darts watch-alongs that, as I said, there's going to be a hell of a lot more darts watch-alongs and darts content on the channel. In fact, I'm thinking about maybe looking at a darts podcast as something to do in the future. But let's focus on the World Darts Championship for now. There's a long way to go before we ever think about looking into other darts content as well. But Kim Huybrechts here, 2 sets and 2 legs up. He's on for another 180 in this match, which he doesn't get. But he does get 140, and he's down to 120 here with Ian White at 172. He's really got to get himself here a leg on the board. In fact, he needs to get 2 legs on the board anyway, or else he's out. So Ian White here gets treble 20 and a 20. And gets himself down to 72. So big opportunities in these games now. Huybrechts at 120. Gets the treble 20, which means he's got one opportunity here at the double 20 to take the game and to end a fantastic match, which he doesn't get. And it's a very, very big chance here for Ian White to check out 72. Gets treble 12, which means he needs double 18. Now in double 9 for a deciding leg. And he gets it. And Ian White, he's holding on in this game. And he sends us to a deciding leg in this 4th set. Can he get a set on the board here, or will Kim Huybrechts get the win in what has been a real good match to watch? He just is not giving up, Diamond White, and you have to give credit to Ian for how well he's played in this game so far. I don't like football, so would it be okay if I skip those streams? Yeah, exactly. You don't have to come in because you're a mod, the man we know name. As I said, the thing is with this channel, we purposely did it. Well, it was my idea with the Sports Corner last year. I wanted to make a channel where we did like watch-alongs and podcasts and stuff for the different sports. And you don't have to come in for the football ones if you don't like it. But we wanted to try a load of different sports. And when we originally started the channel off, it's changed so much since we actually started in terms of what we did. Because we originally just did podcasts at the start of it. But I thought of the idea of doing watch-alongs. I saw how well other channels were doing. We watch-alongs, and we thought, fuck it, we'll give it a go, and here we are now. Doing very well indeed. And it's probably the best decision I made. Because we went from, what? Like 100 subs at the beginning of it, and now we're sat here on 1.4k, and I mean, I've got to say, to get nearly 1.5k in a year is incredibly impressive, as Huybrechts gets an impressive 180 himself. That is a 12th 180, and it's at a time where he desperately needed it, because it puts him a step closer to going through to the next round. He's at 130, Ian White at 199. Gets to 20. Gets another 20. He really needs a treble here to put any pressure on, and he doesn't. So Huybrechts here at 130. White at 140. You would expect Huybrechts to have probably 6 darts here at the 130. So Huybrechts leaves himself down here at 36. Ian White is going to have to check out the 140. This would be an incredible finish if Ian White can get it in the context of the match. Gets the 20, so he's not going to be able to get it, and it means here Kim Huybrechts has the opportunity at the double 18 to win the game and take what would be an incredible victory in a thrilling match to watch. Double 18 required here. 3 match darts in hand. But he only needs 1, and Kim Huybrechts ends a fantastic match between 2 quality players. And it's another game that was full of fantastic moments to watch. And Ian White played very, very well indeed in this game, but ultimately it was Kim Huybrechts who goes through to the next round, and that was certainly a good match to watch. There were 12 180s in the game, and Ian White is out. Kim Huybrechts goes through 3-1. Very unlucky indeed there for Ian White, who thought he was on the chance for a potential comeback, but in the end, it does go to Kim Huybrechts. A 3-1 win indeed. Maminonev's a nice win though by Kim. Played well. I don't like him, but he's a very good player, and he proved it in that match. As I said, he's been talking the talk a lot quite recently. He had to walk the walk today, and he's certainly been one of the better players in this tournament so far, although he did have a very big blip in the game which allowed Ian White to get back into the match. And Mystic Mac, of course, saying there he's a little bit gutted that Ian White didn't go on and come back into this game. But very nice comment there, Man With No Name. Great channel, a good idea. Basically, providing service to viewers, it's awesome, I think. Thank you very much, Man With No Name. It's greatly appreciated. And I'm very glad I came up with the idea for it because, well, I've got a few boys, of course, a few of the friends that I've got that kind of, I could say, work for me, and they don't get paid. It's great, isn't it, really? Free slave labour, isn't it, really? But what again, 3-1 to Kim Huybrechts in this match. Let's talk about the statistics of this game because it was a thrilling match to watch, as I said. 12 180s in this game, a very enjoyable match overall. There were a total of 45 140 pluses, 24 for Ian White and 21 for Kim Huybrechts. There was a total of 8,400 pluses, 43 for Ian White and 41 for Kim Huybrechts. But once again, you've got to come back and talk about the two important stats. That's average and that's checkouts. In terms of the averages, Ian White averaged 102.35. Kim Huybrechts averaged 101.59, which therefore means it's probably one of the better averages that we've had of two players put together so far in this tournament. But realistically, once again, it was the checkouts that cost Ian here. 52.63% for Kim Huybrechts. That's 10 out of 19 darts in the match where he was able to check out. As for Ian White, 25% of checkouts. Realistically, when you look at it in that respect, on any other day, Ian White could have gone on and won the match. In fact, 9 times out of 10, he probably would have gone on and won a match if he had a higher checkout percentage. 25% is not enough to go on and win a game when your opposition players, getting 52% of checkouts in the match. But you've got to give credit there. As play with no name, the man with no name, not play with no name. The man with no name said in the chat, it was the 180 there at the end that kind of really killed off the match there for Ian White. And ultimately, in the end, he comes out with a very big win. Kim, the 39th ranked player in the world, beats the 10th best player. And goes through to the next round of the World Darts Championship, and a very, very good game indeed overall. But that is the match done. We've got plenty more matches to come tonight. We're halfway through the World Darts Championship. We had a game between Christoph Ratajski and Joyce, a very good game for Christoph Ratajski, who did very, very well in that match, coming out with a 3-0 win in the end. Ryan Joyce, a little bit unfortunate in that game to not get himself a set on the board. And a very similar situation here. Both players averaging over 100, but in the end it was Kim Huybrechts who came out with a 3-1 set win. And it means we have 2 more matches to come tonight, and 2 very good matches indeed. It's finally time to see Gerwyn Price on the Ali Pali stage. He is coming up in a moment against Jamie Lewis, which of course we'll talk about that game in a little moment's time. Should be a good all-Welsh affair. And then finally, to end off the night, it's an all-German affair between Gabriel Clemens and Nico Kurz. Of course, that would have been a fantastic game to watch had we have seen fans at the Ali Pali. No doubt it would have been full of German and Welsh fans tonight for those 2 all-international affairs. But as I've said multiple times before, if you're new to the stream and you have enjoyed tonight's watch along, then it's highly recommended to leave a like and a subscription. It is very, very greatly appreciated indeed. I'd like to say a big thank you because we have had a few more new subscribers tonight. So have a Gareth Bale heart on me. We're only 77 subs away from the 1,500 mark. But in terms of our watch-alongs with the PDC World Darts Championship, I will be back once again with another watch-along tomorrow night from 10:06. We've got 4 thrilling games to come tomorrow. Danny Noppert coming up against Cameron Carolison. That game, of course, Carolison coming into that match off of a bye. Came through into the second round after Clearmaker had contracted COVID, which was a real shame for him to not be able to play at the World Darts Championship. Devon Pedersen, he comes up against Steve Lennon. Of course, the South African, a favourite on Sky, because of course he works for them. That'd be interesting to see how he does in that game. What a match this one's going to be. Rob Cross, former world champion himself, coming up against Dirk van Dijvenbode. Of course, Dirk van Dijvenbode coming back from 2 legs down in his game a few days ago against Bradley Brooks. Is he going to be able to this time get a much more comprehensive win against the 2018 World Darts Championship winner? We'll have to find out tomorrow. And then the game I'm really looking forward to, I don't think it's going to happen for him once again, but will lightning strike twice for Paul Lim? He's coming up against Dimitri van den Berg. That will be a very entertaining match to watch tomorrow. That is the final game tomorrow night, which I'll be live, of course, as always, from 6 UK time /GMT, for those of you wondering the time zone. And then tomorrow there's another 4 games going on in the background in the afternoon session, unfortunately. I'm not going to be able to go live for that one. It's a very busy period. I've got a lot of stuff to do in the background as well. So tomorrow, the afternoon session, of course, we're in the second round, so all these games are second round fixtures. Brendan Dolan, he takes on Edward Fulks, who became an overnight sensation at the Ali Pali after his incredible win, the Japanese player, of course. Joe Cullen, he comes up against Wayne Jones. That's going to be an interesting game to watch. Jones coming into this did play very well in his match a few days ago, so Joe Cullen's going to have a very tricky game in his hands there. Pick of the round 2, in my opinion, so far, Simon Whitlock taking on Darius Labanauskas. What a game that is going to be, of course. Darius Labanauskas looked brilliant in his match a few days ago, but Simon Whitlock is certainly going to be a much trickier test in the second round. And then Adrian Lewis, a player who's coming off the back of a very, very disappointing 2020 so far. He comes up against Danny Baggish, who had an incredible game against Damon Hayter a few days ago, and will certainly be looking confident to go through in that match. But will Adrian Lewis turn up on the Ali Pali stage as he always does? We'll have to find out indeed. But we'll move on to our third game of the night. Gerwyn Price taking on Jamie Lewis, and this one should be a very, very entertaining game indeed. Of course, Gerwyn Price, currently ranked the 3rd best player in the world, and if he wins the tournament, he could be on to become the best player in the world, ranked number 1 if he can win the competition. But he's going to have an all-Welsh affair against Jamie Lewis, who's currently ranked 63rd in the world. And by the way, what a match this is going to be, because Kim Huybrechts will be coming up in the 3rd round against Ryan Searle, my certain underdog. I expected to go a little bit further in this competition, so good game that one should be. But let's go back to this match, because Jamie Lewis, currently ranked 63rd in the world, he's going to have a very, very tough game on his hands, that's for sure. How are we doing, Danny Mac? Hope you're good. Welcome to the stream, buddy. Good to see you as always. And then the man with no names put Whitey's known for missing doubles when he matters, though. He certainly missed quite a few tonight, didn't he? And then I honestly don't think the rankings mean much these days. Anyone could beat anyone on their day. Yeah, the rankings don't mean fuck all, really, if we're being honest with you. It's one of those where, unless you ranked 1st in the world, 9 times out of 10, any game can be very, very close indeed to watch. But Jamie Lewis came off the back of 5 defeats, actually. Hadn't played a great deal, Jamie Lewis, at all. In fact, the last time we saw him before his game against Luke Woodhouse, he played in October time. But what a game this was against Luke Woodhouse, who was flying in that first 2 sets. Looked like he was on for one of the better performances of round 1. But ultimately, in the end, it was Jamie Lewis who came back incredibly well in this game. Averaged 90.67 and did very, very well indeed to come back in a thrilling game against a player who you probably would have expected him to lose to. But if I'm being honest with you this time, I think that statement I said a moment ago will come true here. Gerwyn Price, the player, which in fact Nick's just put in the chat, hope you're all good, Nick, said your bet on the champion. I said for my original bet on day 1, Gerwyn Price to take on Michael van Gerwen in the final, a Gerwyn derby you could say, and Michael van Gerwen to go on and win it. So I'm going to have to stick with my prediction, of course. I can't say here that Gerwyn Price is going to lose. But in terms of Gerwyn Price's form, the last time we saw him was at the Player Championship Finals back in November. Lost to Michael van Gerwen 11-8, which is a real shame for him. But his other wins before that, a 10-9 win against Joe Cullen, a 10-6 win against Luke Humphries, a 6-2 win against Jamie Hughes, and a 6-2 win against John Henderson. So he comes off the back of a very good run. And let's take out the Player Championship Finals here for a second, because he's coming on the back of an incredible 2020. He's been fantastic this year. You know, year on year, he just looks like he's getting better and better as time goes on. And realistically, you would expect him to go on and win this game comfortably. I'm going to say he wins this game 3-0, maybe 3-1. You know, he will want to come on to this game, and I think if there's one player more than anything apart from Van Gerwen who will expect to come on stage and really dominate a match and put a good performance in and stand up and say, you know, I'm not here to mess about, I'm here to win the competition, then it's Gerwyn Price. With fans not being there, it's a real shame, because I would love to have seen fans at the Ali Pali for a game like this, with Gerwyn Price being there. You know, he likes to ramp up the crowd and live off the atmosphere, but ultimately, in the end, he should be able to put in a good performance. He's been in games for quite a while now, with the conditions being behind closed doors, so it's not like he's not necessarily used to it. He'll only be not used to playing against players at the Ali Pali without a crowd. That's the only time, of course. But that game will be getting underway in a few moments' time. Nick's just put in the stream, great channel, keep up the work. Thank you very much, buddy. Very, very greatly appreciated. It really does mean a lot indeed. But I'm going to take a quick toilet break. So I will be back in 2 seconds. And then, of course, we'll be talking about this match between Gerwyn Price and Jamie Lewis. Do put your predictions in the chat for this game. I'd like to see what you guys are thinking in terms of the score of this match. And I'll be back in a second. And we'll be underway with that third game of the night as Gerwyn Price takes on Jamie Lewis. Be back in 2 minutes. Do stick around on the channel. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that break there. Just had a quick moment there to just sort myself out. Right, we are about to get underway with this game with Gerwyn Price and Jamie Lewis. Of course, Gerwyn Price coming onto the stage here. Thanks for those of you that did wait there. I do apologise. Just had to take a second there, as we always do. It's a nightmare when it's a 4-hour stream, so I'll take a few breaks in between. I like you better than the darts referee because you interact more with your viewers and talk more. Thank you very much, the man with no name. It's greatly appreciated. I try my best, as I said. I think for me the important thing is being able to to be able to, you know, interact with people. Like, I know with the darts referee, he'll know a fuck ton more than I do about darts. I mean, he's worked as a darts referee, so he should know more than I do. But as I said, I like to try and interact with my viewers a little bit more on stream. And to be fair, I think he's very easy sometimes to sit there and get solely focused on a game that I mean, I've done it before. I've just sat there in silence for kind of like 15-20 seconds because you get so focused on a match taking place. So I completely understand. But he's a very good streamer as well. I've been in his watch-alongs a few times in the afternoon. He's a very good person to watch indeed. So when I'm not live in the afternoon, I know this is just advertising. Highly recommend going over there and checking out if you're wanting another different darts watch-along to keep your eyes out on the well. But you guys have been predicting in the chat. I reckon Price 3-1. Interesting. Nick saying 3-2 Price. So potentially another very good game on our hands here. And then the Mammy Knows, but loving the telephone waiting music. Is it changed now? Oh no, it's still on the original song that I had before. It's great, isn't it? The thing is as well, I have no idea what music is on in the background. It's just a big long playlist that keeps going for the entire stream. I have my computer on mute, or else it comes through on the microphone. So I've got no idea what non-copyright music is on in the background right now. But either way, we're about to get underway in this game, and I'm going to have to open a window here because it's getting a little bit warm in the stream. But going Price, nearly starting off with a 180 in this match. Very good start indeed. Just open the... Oh, I can't even open it. Who's locked it? Are you joking me? Well, that idea's gone out the window. Some idiot has decided to lock the window. So I'm going to have to sit and swelter to death. My apologies. Danny's put... It's a... darts referee just stares at the screen, but I do like his actual content, just not his watch-alongs. I guess it depends, because, I mean, the thing is with watch-alongs is, as I said, you can get so focused on watching something that it is quite easy to sit there and stay quiet sometimes. And do you know what? I think he's a very good YouTuber. Great YouTuber. Really, really good. I do like his content that he has on his channel, but he's got some very good watch-alongs as well. As I said, I've been there a few times in the afternoon sessions, just stalking in the background, watching on and seeing what he reacts to these games. But I like to try and commentate on them as well, for anybody that is turning up and doesn't have access to the games. But wasn't Jamie Lewis in the Premier League at one point? He was, yeah. In fact, he was originally at one point in the top 24, I think, in the world in terms of the rankings. But he certainly dropped down quite a bit. But that win against Luke Woodhouse will have certainly given him a great deal of confidence in the World Darts Championship. But he's got a right test on his hands here against Gerwyn Price, who's about to check out a 94, but doesn't get the 88 that he needs, which is a real shame indeed. So 147 here for Lewis. Gets the 20. Gets the 19. Which means he's not going to be able to check out. So a chance here for the first leg on the board for Gerwyn Price. All he needs here is a 88. Can he get it? First dart is a good marker. Second dart is a little bit more awkward. And he doesn't get it. So a little opportunity here for Jamie Lewis to take the first leg of the board of this game. 14 double 20 for a 54 checkout. Going to go for it now. He's got 2 darts. Now needs double 10. Big opportunity. And he doesn't get it. So Gerwyn Price had 3 darts there at the double 8. He's got an opportunity now at the double 4, which he surely shouldn't miss. Now needs double 2. And this is a really poor start here. Double 1, which he gets. A little bit of a slow start there from Gerwyn Price, but he gets the first leg on the board of this first set. And that will give him a little bit of confidence after a little bit of a shaky start on his checkouts. The darts referee has a few hundred people in there. But the thing is as well with the darts referee is he's been doing YouTube now for a couple of years, I think, or a year at the very least. And he's got a very big audience, of course, and realistically, he'll have been covering, you know, well, his channel is completely darts, so he's going to be covering darts for well over a year now. So he's built up an audience over time. I've only been covering darts now for about a week. So I wouldn't expect many people to come in here. So the fact that there's, you know, even 30 people right now who've, you know, decided to come in here and watch my disgusting face talk about darts is really appreciated, because ultimately I expected when I was doing these darts watch-alongs to probably have about 4 or 5 people in the stream, which I don't mind. As I say, the thing is with me, I could happily sit here with no one in the stream and and still do these darts watch-alongs with no one in the chat. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those where I just like to do these types of videos, because the Paul Lim game was a great example of a moment where I always think in my head, I'm so glad I did that game live, because it was so back and forth, and you know, you get a good reaction at the end of the day, and those are the types of matches that you want to cover live. And I think as well, anytime you see a 9-darter, you want to have that live as well on stream. It's one of those where realistically I love doing like these reaction ones. But we've got a chance here at 148 checkout for Jamie Lewis. Gets a treble 20, only gets a 20, but he'll leave himself with a very good finish here of an 8. So Gerwyn Price under some pressure to check out the 142, which he's not going to get. And Jamie Lewis here with an opportunity to make it 1 leg apiece. 3 darts to the double 4, which he gets first time. And that is a good leg on the board for Jamie Lewis. And that will certainly give him a little bit of confidence in this game. Bit of a slow start for Gerwyn Price. Not what he'll have wanted. I think Gerwyn Price certainly would have liked to have got 3 legs on the bounce and a first set within the first 5 minutes. And of course, the danger at the World Darts Championship is the longer these games go on, and we're very early in this game, so we've got plenty of time, but we've seen multiple times in the past, and even this year in the tournament so far in this first week, that you can quite easily get yourself into a battle if you don't get yourself into this game very quickly. I mean, the greatest example was the John Henderson game against Marco Cantele, where Cantele was averaging 70 and pretty much stayed in the majority of the game with a 70 average, which is mad. Absolutely mad indeed. But 140 there for Jamie Lewis, down to 265. Gerwyn Price here on course for the first 180 of this game, which he gets. And that will give him some confidence in this game. The first 180 on the board for the match there for Gerwyn Price. But Jamie Lewis looking to respond with a 180 of his own, which he won't get. Just rushed that second dart there, I think, a little bit, trying to match the 180 of Gerwyn Price. And he gets himself 98 there, which isn't the greatest score in the world. I'm not here for your face, it's for the British accent, lol. You're a great YouTuber, a great commentator. If YouTube don't work out, maybe try it out. I'd like to, because the thing is, at uni, I cover sports journalism, so for me, as I said, it's very good for the fact that I kind of get to use this channel as an opportunity for a background of work, like a portfolio of work, which is always a benefit for me at the end of the day. But a chance here for a tops for Gerwyn Price. Now needs double 10 to make it 2-1 on legs. Just doesn't get it. And he's had a bit of a sloppy start here in terms of finishing, which means Lewis has got a good chance here with a 70 checkout. Gets the treble 18, which means he's got 2 darts to the double 8. And he gets it for a breaker throw as well. So Jamie Lewis here, in an all-Welsh affair, he's off to a good start against Gerwyn Price, and you can see the reaction on his face. He looks like he's pouting Gerwyn Price on the screen right now. But he's 2-1 down on legs, and there's a real good opportunity here for Jamie Lewis to try and get a set on the board as he gets a 180 to start. And the player, who's certainly been short of confidence in the last year or so, has started fantastically well against Gerwyn Price. We love to see it. Sky Sports, if you're watching, give Josh a commentator job now. Sack Stuart Pike and give me the job. I'm a long way away from ever doing that, I'll tell you that for sure. I'm a long way away from doing that. I mean, originally last year, I had an opportunity to potentially work at DAZN on some football stuff, which was very exciting, but ultimately because of COVID, that completely cocked all that stuff up. And I can happily say that as well. Well, not happily say COVID cocked it all up. I can happily say I had a chance to work in it. But if there was an opportunity to work in the darts industry on something, then I would happily take it. And it's something I'm hopefully going to try and look into. But as I said before, for me, because I do sports journalism anyway as a course, this channel is a great way to have a portfolio, and I can, you know, show this off at the end of the day and say, look, for the last year I've been building kind of a portfolio of stuff to use in the future. But Jamie Lewis here on a 27 has a chance of 6 darts at the very least at this 27, needs double 8 to take the first set of the game. And well, he misses it, but with Gerwyn Price back at 255, He's got a dream leg on the board here, Jamie Lewis. He's going to have at least another 3 darts to the double 8. And in fact, he's going to have 6 darts at the double 8. With Gerwyn price back all the way at 195. Now needs double 4, Jamie Lewis. 2 darts at the least. Now needs double 2. Can he get it? He does indeed. And Jamie Lewis, with the perfect set to start off this game, and an all-Welsh affair, starts with an interesting game indeed. 1 set on the board for Jamie Lewis, and he will have been looking, certainly, for a very, very exciting start to the game, and he's got exactly what he wanted. 1 set on the board, and Gerwyn price is having a bit of a stinker so far. We'll talk about statistics in a moment. Danny Mac saying, if you had Wayne Mardle energy, you'd be a young legend, but we know you can't get loud. Well, I tell you one thing, Danny Mac. If you look back on some of my football streams, I do tend to get a little bit loud. I can get a bit louder now, actually, as well, because the next door neighbours we live with here are bloody loud themselves, so I could get quite loud if I wanted to now. But at uni, because I tend to have my windows open, I don't want to get too loud and then get a noise complaint. But so far, Jamie Lewis 1 set up in this game. Let's talk about the stats of this match, because as it currently stands, as I said a moment ago, Gerwyn price is off to an absolute stinker, averaging 77.50, which is a very shocking start for him. And only 11.11 on his checkouts. That's 1 out of 9 opportunities so far in this game. As for Jamie Lewis, averaging 90.18 in this game, and on 33.33% of his checkouts. There's been 2 180s in the game so far, 1 for Gerwyn price and 1 for Jamie Lewis. As for 140s, there's been 440 pluses in the match for Jamie Lewis, only 2 for Gerwyn price. And he's struggling big time. Gerwyn price's best checkout so far, he's 8. So that kind of sums up the match so far. And realistically speaking, the question Jamie Lewis is probably thinking in his head, he will not be thinking right now about the fact that he's winning this game. He will be thinking, how long have I got before Gerwyn price shows up in this match and starts to hit the trebles and his average starts rocketing up in the match. And I would assume we'll probably see the best of Gerwyn price come in this second set. But realistically, Jamie Lewis will be hoping in his head that Gerwyn price is just having a very, very bad day indeed, and he can go on and shock at the PDC World Darts Championship and knock him out. But we've said before in the past, with players being 2 sets up, that 2 sets is a very dangerous lead. I'm not even going to get to a stage here and say that Jamie Lewis is on course for an incredible victory, because we're only 1 set into this match. He's a long way away from getting back into this game Gerwyn price. And of course, Jamie Lewis is a long way away from winning this game overall. So a lot of time left in this match, and both players will be out onto the Oki once again in a moment's time. But if you're new to stream, as always, do leave a like. Subscription is very greatly appreciated if you have enjoyed this World Darts Championship watch-along so far. Once again, I'll be live tomorrow night from 6:10 for another World Darts Championship watch-along. We'll be covering some of the big games, including the likes of Rob Cross taking on Dirk van Dijvenbode, and the Ali Pali legend, that is Paul Lim, in a very good game against Dimitri van den Berg. Can he have lightning strike twice, or will we see Dancing Dimitri go through to the next round of the World Darts Championship? We'll have to find out tomorrow, because that's from 6:10. But right now, we've got 2 more games still to go through. Price and Lewis, of course. Lewis 1 set up to nothing against Gerwyn price. As it currently stands, as for 1 more game coming up tonight, it is an all-German affair between Gabriel Clemens and Nico Kurz. No doubt if there were fans at the Ali Pali tonight, there'd have been plenty of Germans at the Ali Pali. Thought it would have been a fantastic game. But there would have been plenty of Welsh people at the Ali Pali tonight, because there's an all-Welsh affair going on between Gerwyn price and Jamie Lewis, and as it currently stands, Gerwyn price is 1 set down and having an absolute stinker. But how long will he be having a stinker for? Because you would expect Gerwyn price to turn it up a notch in this second set. Or will we see the biggest shock of the tournament so far? We'll have to find out indeed. I mean, the man with no name says Lewis could charge on and beat price. And the thing is, we said at the beginning of this game that, you know, Jamie Lewis, a couple of years ago, he was in the Premier League. You know, he was ranked in the top 24. I think he was ranked 20th at one point in the world. He's a very, very good player on his day. And ultimately, you know, he lost a bit of his confidence, dropped down the rankings. But if he can win this game, I tell you one thing, it'll be a bloody massive boost for his confidence, that's for sure. And he's on for a 180 here, Jamie Lewis, and he just needs to make sure he continues at this pace as he gets to 140 to put himself down to 265. And there's a part of me that, as much as I said I'd like to see Gerwyn priced in the final, there's a part of me that would love to see Jamie Lewis go through, because it'd be a real shock early on in the World Darts Championship. But he's got to keep his calm. He's got to keep his composure. There's a long way to go in this game. I lost my bet. What bet did you have, Danny Mac? Do tell me in the chat what bet you had. Sorry to hear that you lost your bet. And then the man with no name says, anyone who knows Lewis, it would not be a shock if he beats Price. I'd probably say I disagree in terms of it not being a shock, because as much as the two players will know each other, I think with the way that Jamie Lewis's form has gone the last year or so, he's dwindled down the world rankings. He's been a bit of a outcast in the PDC tournaments. I would probably say it would be a shock, because 9 times out of 10, you would expect Gerwyn Price to go on and win a game like this. But he's on here for a 7-7 finish to get himself the first leg of the second set on the board, which he does. And it's 4 legs on the bounce for Jamie Lewis. And as I said, I just think for Lewis, because he's been dwindling a little bit in his world rankings and as a player. Yeah, go on, I'll give you that. He's half a shock, because I understand where you're coming from in terms of, these players will know each other very well, because, they're both Welsh. No doubt they'll both practice with each other a hell of a lot. But I think if you're going based on form and rankings, Gerwyn Price is in the best form of his life right now in terms of 2020. Jamie Lewis will certainly be full of confidence after that incredible win against Luke Woodhouse a few days ago. But he's on here, potentially, to give Gerwyn Price a leg. Price at 266 and Jamie Lewis at 359. But I tell you one thing, Gerwyn Price only getting a 60. You can feel it. You can sense there could be an opportunity for Jamie Lewis here to go 2 sets up in this game if he can get a treble on the board. He starts with a 20. He does get a treble, but it's only a 1. And he only gets 41, and that's a real shame for Jamie Lewis there. Could have capitalised on Gerwyn Price at 60 a moment ago. And now there's a chance here for a 180 for Gerwyn, which he gets 148. I hit 3 140s today. Fair play, Danny. Good run there. Did you hit by any chance 2 treble 20s? And then, of course, get the 20 afterwards? Because I guess no doubt if you did get 2 treble 20s in a row, you were probably very nervous to try and hit the treble 20 as Gerwyn Price only gets 66. So double 1, but he's going to have at least 3 darts at the double 1 here. Jamie Lewis at 216. Going to have to put some pressure on Gerwyn. So Jamie Lewis gets 96 to leave himself 150. Gerwyn at double 1, which he gets. And that is a leg on the board for Gerwyn Price. 1 leg apiece, and he's just improving a little bit in this game, Gerwyn Price. And Jamie Lewis has just got to keep that standard going. Although here, he only starts off with 58, and that's a real good opportunity for Gerwyn Price to take a foothold of this 3rd leg of the second set. He's on for a 180 here, Gerwyn Price, which he gets. And are we starting to see the Gerwyn we expected at the World Darts Championship? Just starting to wake up a little bit in this match, you could say, as... Oh, Jamie Lewis there, unlucky. Only gets 40 as one of his darts falls out to the board. And Gerwyn here gets another treble 20. Then gets to 20. And gets 99 to leave himself down at 222. And there's a real gap starting to build here between Gerwyn and Jamie Lewis in this second set of the match. Price at 222. Jamie Lewis at 303. As the man with no names put, the Iceman must warm up. Wait, he would melt. He certainly would indeed. He would melt in this match, but he is warming up. And looking a little bit better in this set. So 58 there for Gerwyn Price. Very unlucky indeed there. I apologise if we've dropped a few frames there for a second. I think the Wi-Fi might have just gone for like half a second there. We should be back. Apologies about that. If it did drop a few frames a moment ago. So, Gerwyn Price here. Needs 164. Can he get it? The answer is he won't. But he's going to have at least 3 darts there. at the 1-2-1 with Jamie Lewis back at 2-2-4. Once again, apologies if we dropped a few frames there for a second. Do expect that a little bit more. The Wi-Fi here isn't as strong as it is when I'm at uni, so I do apologise for that. But 1-2-1 checkout here for Price. He's going to have at least 6 darts with Lewis at 186. So he's going to set himself up here. And Gerwyn Price sets himself up with a tops. Jamie Lewis averaging around 70s in this second set. And is given Gerwyn Price a real opportunity to make it 1 set apiece in this game. So Lewis down at 86, but Gerwyn at tops, which he gets first time. And that is 2-1 on legs. To put himself back with a chance of getting a set on the board. You're using the McDonald's Wi-Fi below you. I bloody wish I had a McDonald's below me. Bloody hell, I'd be sick. No, the Wi-Fi here is fucking shite. I'll tell you that for sure. That's why I genuinely thought I wasn't going to be able to stream for the next few days. Because usually, frame rate-wise, it's shocking. But luckily, it's not too bad. I think that's the first time we've had a little blip tonight on stream in terms of the frame rate. But we should be back to normal. But yeah, blame Virgin Media. Terrible company. Useless, honestly. But Gerwyn Price here on for 180, which he gets. And now we're starting to see the Gerwyn Price we expected at the Ali Pali. That's 4 180s in the match. As Jamie Lewis just starts to dwindle a little bit in this game, he really needs to get the next leg back on the board. Chris is back in the stream. He says, I'm back now. Just done an F1 season review show with my mate. Don't worry, I had darts on the same time. Good to see you, buddy. How you been enjoying it? How you been enjoying it indeed? Liam Gallagher's in the stream. Liam Gallagher's put, hello, mate. Absolutely love your work. Don't get the credit you deserve. Thank you very much, buddy. Think people will find you and you'll progress into a top YouTuber. Do you think they should introduce oil into fake taxi videos? What? I don't think I've ever had a question like that asked in the stream. But yes, Liam Gallagher, they should introduce oil into them. Well, thank you very much, buddy. Greatly appreciated for the comment. Really appreciated indeed. I've never had a question like that ever asked in a stream. I'll tell you that for sure. I'll give you credit though. Fair play. Cheers, buddy. Thanks for the comment. It's greatly appreciated. But yes, they should introduce oil into them. Chance here though for Jamie Lewis on a 141 checkout. Needs double 12. Go for it. Oh, that would have been a right chance there for Jamie Lewis on a 141 checkout. So Gerwyn Price here at 100. Jamie Lewis at 24. He needs to check this out. Price. He's gonna have 2 darts here at tops to take the set. First dart misses. Good marker though. And the second dart he gets. And that is a massive leg on the board there for Gerwyn Price, who makes it 1 set apiece. Jamie Lewis there with an opportunity to check out the 24, but Gerwyn Price checks out the 100. And he makes it 1-1. And an opportunity where we could have gone down to a deciding leg, and maybe we could have had an opportunity there for Jamie Lewis to make it 2 sets to nothing. But ultimately, he's starting to come out to play there. Gerwyn Price, that's the role we've been waiting for. And as it currently stands, it's 1 set apiece in this game. And, well, it's all to play for now, isn't it? And let's talk about the stats of the match, because that's where it is right now in terms of this game. The averages just starting to improve a little bit for Gerwyn Price. As for Jamie Lewis, he's just started to certainly dwindle a little bit in this game. As I think we're just dropping a few more frames here. I do apologise about that. Fucking knew it had happened today. Averages 84.49 for Gerwyn Price. Still not the Gerwyn you would expect, but he's certainly improved massively since that original first set. As for Jamie Lewis, his average is 87.4 for the overall match. We'll look at that second set overall, actually, because it'll tell you a very different story in terms of how that second set panned out. There's been 4 180s in the match, 3 for Gerwyn and 1 for Jamie Lewis, 6 140 pluses for Gerwyn Price and 5 for Jamie Lewis. But let's have a look at that second set, because it's where it is right now in terms of the match, and you'll see how different this game has panned out to be. So Gerwyn Price was averaging 77.5 in that original first set. He's now averaging 91.81 in that second set. Looking so much better in the match. Certainly an improved performance for sure there. As for Jamie Lewis, he averaged 90 in that first set. 84.48 in that second one. But it's his finishing once again that's really been frustrating for him. 20% of checkouts there for Jamie Lewis. That's 1 out of 5. Gerwyn Price 60% on his checkouts. That's 3 out of 5 in comparison to the 11.11 that he had in that first original set. So Gerwyn Price starting to come out to play a little bit in this game, but he's still got a little bit of work to do if he wants to get this match, because we've still seen, even though it's been a little bit of an improved performance there from Gerwyn Price, ultimately in the end, Jamie Lewis is still close in this game, but we've got plenty of time left in this match for Gerwyn to go on and win it. But if you're new to streams, always, once again, do leave a like and subscription. It is very, very greatly appreciated. Indeed, if you have enjoyed the watch along, of course, so far, as we push towards 1,500 subs before the end of the year. We're at 1,423 as it currently stands, so certainly slowly but surely getting there. But the players will be back out on the Oki in a moment. The Mummy No Name saying that question there from Liam Gallagher was a very specific question. Honestly, unbelievable. We love YouTube. We love the community. Crazy, isn't it? And then Chris was, of course, putting Ian White failing to show potential again. It was a very frustrating game for Ian White. And for those of you that have just joined, you're wondering, I've missed a couple of games tonight. What were the scores in those other matches? Christoph Ratajski in a 3-0 win against Ryan Joyce. A very good game that was for Christoph Ratajski. One of the better performances I think we've seen of the World Darts Championship so far. And then Ian White in a brilliant match against Kim Huybrechts. Kim Huybrechts was 2 sets up. Ian White got himself another set on the board, and it looked like we were about to potentially see an Ian White comeback in that match, but ultimately he left it too little too late, and Kim Huybrechts came out with a 3-1 win, which means he'll be going on to play Ryan Searle, my outsider pun, at the World Darts Championship. That'll be a thrilling match to watch, of course. Kim Huybrechts doing very well indeed in terms of his form, but Ryan Searle being fantastic on his checkouts. As for this match, Gerwyn Price currently 1-1 against Jamie Lewis. And we've got an all-German affair between Gabriel Clemens and Nico Kurz to come up a little bit later on tonight. But we're back underway with this game between Gerwyn Price and Jamie Lewis. And we saw that roar after the end of the second set. Are we now starting to see the Gerwyn Price that we would expect at this stage of the World Darts Championship? We've got a chance here for 180 for Jamie Lewis, which he gets. And that is certainly a good way to pressure Gerwyn Price at the beginning of this third set of the match, 1 set apiece. And I think, could we maybe see this go potentially to a last set decider? Potentially so, but Jamie Lewis on here only gets 2 20s, but does get a treble 19 on the board. And Gerwyn Price just having a sloppy start here to this third leg. After 6 starts, he's only down, I'm saying only down to 204. He's still leading Jamie Lewis technically here, but the average has just certainly dwindled a little bit. 85.43 for Gerwyn Price, 89 average for Jamie Lewis. It is not the most quality game in the world, but it's always nice to see a match where we could have potential shock on the cards. The man we know names, but hello, Barry Hearn here. I see you have great commentary. I would like to give you the opportunity to come for the PDC. You will be paid good money. Don't worry, I will sack Stuart Pike. Barry hijacked my account. He's taken over. What's he doing, the man with no name? You've got to tell Barry to stop taking over your account, honestly. Unbelievable. Barry Hearn, what's he doing? Madman. Chris putting the seeds are falling already. Well, this is the thing. They are. But chance here for a 104 checkout for Gerwyn Price to get the first leg on the board, which he gets, and that is a big 104 checkout, and that is the Gerwyn Price roar we expect to see at the Ali Pali. And although he might not have fans there at the Ali Pali, you can certainly hear that roar instead of the fans jeering on Gerwyn Price. And that's 2 legs on the bounce, and he's starting to get into this game. And well, you'd expect Gerwyn Price to get the adrenaline flowing and pumping in a match like this. But what can Gerwyn Price do? He's got to get a really consecutive run of form going. He's on here for a 180, which he gets, and that's another roar from Gerwyn Price. He's on for a potential 9-darter. That's 6 180s in the match, and Jamie Lewis is now in a potential situation where he might be starting to worry about losing this match, and Gerwyn Price getting a foothold in this game. Gets another treble 20 here. Gets another one. Are we about to see a 9-darter chance? Oh, we're not going to see it, but we are going to see a 140 there for Price to leave himself 181. Jamie Lewis back at 325 here. And with a real worry of letting Going Price get away with this game. But he gets a 140 to leave himself 185. And Going Price at 181 only gets himself 85. So Jamie Lewis with an opportunity here to put some real pressure on Going Price if he can get a few trebles on the board. Gets 2 treble 20s. Will he go for the treble 20 changes for the bull? And gets himself 15. So Going Price going to have to check out the 96 here. He's going to go for tops, which in fact he can't check out. So Jamie Lewis here with an opportunity to make it 1 leg apiece with 7 and 2 darts at double 4. First dart a little bit too high. And the second dart he doesn't get, which leaves a real opportunity for Going Price to get double 20 for the second leg of this third set. Double 10. Really needs it here. That'll be 5 legs on the bounce for him, and he doesn't get it. And well, this is a good opportunity now for Jamie Lewis. Double 2 for a leg on the board in this third set. Can he get it? That's the question. First dart a little bit too low, but a decent marker. And the second dart is much better. And now there's a reaction from Jamie Lewis. He's giving it some to Going Price. That's what you want to see. The passion coming out to play. And Going Price is going to respond with 135 to leave himself 366 after 3 darts. And that is what you want to see. Some passion and flair coming to this game. And that's what we love to see with Going Price. He certainly antagonises players and jeers them on to bring some reactions in these games. And that's exactly what he's doing right now in this match against Jamie Lewis. What's the man with no name put in the chat? What do you say, kid? Want to come to work for me? Cash in... Oh, cash in hand. Oh, that's even better. Cash in hand. God, imagine that. If I got a cash in hand job, I'd take it straight away. And Chris has put my tip to win whole thing Price has to win ugly here. Yeah, do you know what? He is going to have to win ugly, but we've said it before in the past. I think Peter Wright a few times in his winning situation last year had to win dirty a few times. There was that game, wasn't it, where he won 3 sets to 2 against Malik Dem. And that was a very dirty win. A very scrappy game that was. But Going Price here at 207. Jamie Lewis at 256. And that's a very good score there from Going Price. Leaves himself down at 73, which means he's going to have at least 3 darts here at 73. In fact, you would expect him to have at least 6 darts here because Going Price is going to get 6 darts, with Jamie Lewis only getting 60. So gets the treble 19. Needs double 8s to take the lead for the first time in this game. And he gets it. And Going Price there goes into the lead. 2-1 up on legs in this third set, and with an opportunity to potentially take the third set and go 2-1 up on sets as well. Jamie Lewis is going to have to win the next 2 legs on the bounce if he wants to get something in this game, or else there's a real chance for Price to start running away with this match. And well, not the start that Going Price wants there. Only gets 81 on the board with his first 3 darts to the 4th leg of the third set. So a chance here for Jamie Lewis to capitalise. And well, he gets 100. So lets him off very slightly there, Going Price. And I see the argument in the chat. Look at the argument there between Barry and the man with no name. But yeah, it's a dirty game, this one, for Going Price to win. And realistically, you could win this tournament dirty quite easily. But Jamie Lewis has got to hold on here and hold his throw. Gets 134 to leave himself 207. Going Price at 320. And only gets 60. So a real opportunity here for Jamie Lewis to get a leg on the board at 207. Going to have to get a few decent trebles to leave himself with a good checkout. Gets 20. Then gets a treble, but a 1. And oh, he's really let Going off the hook there. That's poor. I think 24 there from Jamie Lewis to leave 187. And Going Price capitalises on the mistake and gets 100. So Jamie Lewis not on a checkout. Leaves Going Price with a 160. What can Jamie Lewis do here to add a little bit of pressure? The answer is only get 59. So Going Price at 160. 2 treble 20s and a double 20. Gets the first one. Gets the second one. Oh, this would be a great 160 checkout for the second leg. And he gets it. And feel that roar from Gerwyn Price. If it was 4D, you'd feel the rumble and the vibration from that incredible roar that he's got. And that is a great 160 checkout to go 2 sets up in this game. 2-1 in terms of the match overall. And that was a absolute roar and a half there from Gerwyn Price to take the lead in this game. And Jamie Lewis, as I always say, is now under the cosh in this match. And he's certainly starting to run away this game from him, with Gerwyn Price looking very relentless in this match. And we could potentially be about 10 minutes away from this match being done and dusted, with the way that Jamie Lewis is playing right now, although he's got 305 after 6 darts. Gerwyn Price, the one for the 180 here, which he gets. And he knows he's in a good position here to take the first leg of the 4th set on the board. That's the 7th 180 of the match. But can Jamie Lewis respond here? He gets himself only 99. So a chance here for Gerwyn Price. Gets a treble 20-19. And gets 98. Is that going to be enough here with Gerwyn Price at 128? Jamie Lewis at 206. Certainly going to have to put the pressure on, that's for sure. So 96 there for Jamie Lewis, leaves him 110. Gerwyn Price at 128 needs a bull here for the treble 20. And just, I believe, comes out there of the ball. Bounces off the lining and goes into the outer bull. So chance here for a 110 checkout from Jamie Lewis. Has 1 dart at the double 16 and gets it. And that is a big leg on the board for Jamie Lewis. And will that give him some belief and confidence that he can come back in this game? And it's a scrappy match for Gerwyn Price to be playing in. But as the man with no name and Chris have said both times, you have to win ugly. And Gerwyn Price is going to have to do that if he wants to win the game. Taylor, we said it before, didn't we, a few days ago, that Taylor said that round 1 games tended to be the worst ones to play in. And he's absolutely right. They're scrappy matches to come up against. You've got hungry players who want to go as far as they possibly can in this competition. And Jamie Lewis is not making it easy right now for Gerwyn Price to be able to go through to the next round. As the man with no name says, Lewis is taking it to him. He certainly is, but he's got to keep this form going, because he's certainly looking as hungry as he did in that original first set. So Jamie Lewis gets a 140 to put himself down at 240, but Gerwyn Price responds with a 140 of his own to put himself down to 202. But can Lewis get another 140? The answer is he can. So 3 140s in a row here. Jamie Lewis down to 100. Gerwyn Price gets 105. So Lewis at 100 here. Gerwyn Price at a 97. Gets to 20. Means he's going to have 1 dart here at tops. And in fact, sorry, he can't get it at tops. So he will get 40 to go tops. But he might not have a chance here, because 97 for Gerwyn Price needs the treble. 10 and doesn't get it. And now there's a chance for Jamie Lewis at top for a break of throne to go 2 legs up in this 4th set. Big moments in this game. Needs double 10. And gets the treble 10. And that is massive for Jamie Lewis, because he's 2 legs up in this 4th set. And Gerwyn Price is going to have to win the next 3 legs on the bounce if he wants to go on and win this game, or else we're going to a decider. And you have to give credit here to Jamie Lewis, because he's certainly fought his way back into this match. He's done very, very well indeed, and he looks as confident as he did in that first original set against Gerwyn Price. What a game this is. What a fantastic night it's been so far of action. If you have enjoyed the watch along so far, then thank you very much for joining us on the Sports Corner. I'll be live once again tomorrow at 6:10 for day 8 of the World Darts Championship. But Jamie Lewis here at 222. Gerwyn Price going to respond with a 140 of his own to leave himself down at 221. This is turning into an absolute belter of a game, and the averages have certainly improved now. Gerwyn Price averaging 92.89 and Jamie Lewis just averaging 91.22, so they're pretty much playing each other very well here. So Jamie Lewis at 122. Needs 2 treble 18s and a double 7. And Gerwyn Price at 125. Lewis starts with an 18. Gets treble 18, so a bull here to take the sets. And oh, it falls out. So unlucky there. I mean, he's down at 50. But we could see a 125 check out here. Which we won't see. And Jamie Lewis with a chance here to make it 2 sets apiece. 18 double 16 required. Has 2 darts. And he gets it! 2 sets apiece in this game. And we're going to a last set decider. And this is an absolute belter of a match between Gerwyn Price and Jamie Lewis. And while Gerwyn Price might not be playing on fire right now, Jamie Lewis is certainly giving him game right now. And remember, Gerwyn Price had to win the competition for a potential chance to go to world number 1. But Jamie Lewis is looking like there could be a potential chance for him to maybe go on and win this game. There's still plenty of time in this match. But Gerwyn Price right now, he's not looking confident. And after 6 darts, he's down to 3-2-1. Jamie Lewis has got to capitalise. He's at 405, starts with a 20. Gets another treble 20, needs another one here, which he gets. And a 140 means that Jamie Lewis is down to 265 here in this game. He's starting to just get away from Gerwyn Price a little bit here. Are we about to witness an incredible shock at the World Darts Championship? There's loads of time left though, let's not get too excited. My heart is racing. And only 57 there for Jamie Lewis, and there's a chance here for Gerwyn Price to capitalise. He gets a treble 1, treble 20, and a treble 19. And that is a big 120 score from Gerwyn Price. Welcome to the stream, Mayo_FN. Mayo? Tell me how you pronounce it. But there's a chance here for a 180 from Jamie Lewis. He gets a 140, which means that Gerwyn Price is going to have to check out this 120, which he's not going to be able to. So, Jamie Lewis here with a 68 for an opportunity to take the lead in this game once again. Treble 20, double 4. Gets 20. Gets treble 16. And he's busted his score. Oh, he shouldn't be busting his score. And now, Gerwyn Price with a chance here to go for tops and take the lead again. And he does! Oh! Jamie Lewis busting his score. And now, the advantage is with Gerwyn Price again. And that is so poor from Jamie Lewis. And he's got to be able to just compose himself in this situation. Because that is shocking from Jamie Lewis. Why do that in a situation where the game can well and truly go into your hands? And surely now, there's a real opportunity here for Gerwyn Price to capitalise on the mistake of Jamie Lewis and take advantage of that mistake of busting his score on the treble 16. Sergio's asked where I can watch the Gabriel Clemens match. If you're not in the UK, Sergio, I believe it's on PDC.TV. I think you can get a monthly pass for a couple of pounds or dollars or whatever currency you tend to use. Euros, potentially, I'm guessing. And the coverage is on there. So PDC.TV if you're actually wanting to watch the games. But what a poor mistake there from Jamie Lewis. And, oh, man, it really gives a chance here for Gerwyn Price to push forward. He's down to 262 here. And Jamie Lewis has got to get the next leg on the board and make the most. And just focus himself once again here. Gets a treble 20 and a 20. And another one. And that is a big 140 on the board. Who do you guys want to win? I think there's a lot of people in the chat right now that really want Jamie Lewis to go on and win this game. Chris saying Lewis personally be good to see top 3 go out as neutral. And you're very welcome, Sergio. You're very, very welcome indeed. Hopefully, you'll be able to access it. So Jamie Lewis at 148 here. Can only leave himself with a decent finish on the board. Gerwyn Price at 206, who will have at least 3 darts. And he gets himself 116. So this is a real opportunity for Gerwyn Price to potentially be put to 1 leg apiece here. 3 darts at double 16 and a chance to compose himself once again. First dart misses. And that is a really awkward dart there. Second dart is even more awkward. And he can't get it. And now there's a chance here for a big 1-1-6 finish from Gerwyn Price. Gets a treble 19. Gets a 19, which means a chance at tops here for a 1-1-6 check out. And it's a big check out from Gerwyn Price. And he makes the most of the mistakes from Jamie Lewis. And has he got a chance here to go through to the next round? Brilliant 1-1-6 check out there from Gerwyn Price. And he's now one leg away from going through to the World Darts Championship third round. Brilliant there from Gerwyn Price. Under the pressure and under incredible, immense pressure, as I said there a moment ago. Under the cosh, as I always like to say. And he starts with a 180. He's on for a potential 9-darter here. That's two 180s. And he gets a 140. And he's on course here to go through to the next round. 184 here. A Jamie Lewis at 401. And there's a real chance for him to sweep this set up. So Gerwyn Price at 184. Gets a 20. Gets another 20. And his dart falls out. And is this maybe a little opportunity for Jamie Lewis to have a chance to pressure Gerwyn Price? And he's going to start with a 1. And that is not what Jamie Lewis wants. He really needs 2 trebles here, which he only gets 66. So he's going to have 6 darts here at the 144 to win the game. Starts with a 20, a treble 18. And he's down to 60. Jamie Lewis at 195 can only pressure the throw, and he does very well indeed. And gets himself down to 74. So chance here for the match. Tops for Gerwyn Price to win, and he wins it. What a game it was. It was back and forth between Gerwyn Price and Jamie Lewis. And you've got to give credit to Jamie Lewis. He gave Gerwyn Price a game and a half, but we said before, if you want to win the World Darts Championship, sometimes you're going to have to win these games dirty. And in the end, it's a dirty win for Gerwyn Price. But that 1-1-6 checkout in the end was pivotal for Gerwyn Price to go on and win this game. And in the end, it's an absolute belter of a match in terms of the context of the situation. Lewis did his very best, but in the end, it's Gerwyn Price who goes through to the next round. Gerwyn Price 3. Jamie Lewis 2. And what a fantastic match that was indeed. And Nick was spot on with his prediction there of 3-2. So credit to you there indeed. What a game that was. And as I said, you've got to give credit there to Jamie Lewis, because it genuinely did feel like there was a potential chance for the world number 3 to go out of the World Darts Championship in the second round. But ultimately in the end there, it was that treble 16 that cost him. He busted his score. And that was a real table-turning moment in the match where you kind of thought to yourself, had he have not busted his score, he had a chance to put all of the pressure on Gerwyn Price. But ultimately, in the end, he bust on the treble 16. Gerwyn Price checked out, I think, the 116 or the 160 at one point in the end. And ultimately took advantage of the Jamie Lewis mistake. And it did look like there was a chance for Jamie Lewis to capitalise once again and start getting a bit of confidence back in that final set. But ultimately, you know, the very best players in the world do play the scrappy games and tend to win. And, of course, as we saw, Gerwyn Price there coming out 3-2 victor in the match. And if you have enjoyed tonight's watch along so far, then do leave a like and a subscription. As always, it's very greatly appreciated indeed. I apologise there if we dropped a few frames. Bloody McDonald's Wi-Fi shit in the bed, as always there. But let's talk about the stats very quickly. In terms of the averages for the game, 91.97 average for Gerwyn Price. Not the best average for him. He will look at this performance and probably think to himself that he didn't play good enough today. As for Jamie Lewis, a 90.46 average. Of course, did very well indeed to give a very good game there to Gerwyn Price. There were 7 180s in the match, 5 for Gerwyn Price and 2 for Jamie Lewis. And in terms of the checkouts, 35.71% percent of checkouts for Gerwyn Price. That's 10 out of 28. And 34.78% of checkouts for Jamie Lewis in the match. So tried his very best there. But ultimately in the end, it was Gerwyn Price who came out on top. And I apologise because we are dropping some frames right now, big time. So I do apologise about that. McDonald's Wi-Fi being awful as always. But we've got one more game to come up on the night. We've had 3 games already today. Krzysztof Ratajski in a 3-0 win, a very good 3-0 win against Ryan Joyce earlier on today. That was a fantastic match to watch. A very good performance from the Polish player. We had a good win for Kim Huybrechts, a 3-1 win in the end for the Belgium against Ian Diamond White, who looked like he was going to be on course to go on and maybe bring us a shot comeback, but in the end he didn't. And then, of course, we had our game a moment ago, which was a 3-2 win for Gerwyn Price against Jamie Lewis, which means there's one more match on the night, which is going to see an old German affair between Gabriel Clemens and Nico Kurz. Once again, I will be back in a moment. We'll talk about that game, we'll talk about that Gerwyn Price one, and we'll have the final match of the night, but I will be back in 2 seconds, and we'll have our next live game. Back in 2. Right, we're back. There we go. Apologies about that. Just needed to nibble a little bit. I am absolutely starving. But that is the game. As I said, we watched the match there between Gerwyn Price and Jamie Lewis. That was a fantastic game to watch. Really, really good match overall. A 3-2 win in the end there for Gerwyn Price. And as the man with no name said, you know, Lewis gave him a very, very good game indeed. And ultimately, you have to win dirty sometimes if you want to win competitions. Not just in darts, but in any sport, you have to win dirty sometimes. It's not going to be the most enjoyable games in the world. And even Gerwyn Price himself will say probably tonight, look, that was probably one of my worst performances at the Ali Pali. But in the end, you know, it's the little mistakes that cost. And realistically, that treble 16 was the moment that broke the camel's back, wasn't it, really, for Jamie Lewis? And he wasn't going to go on and win the game. But overall, that is the match between Gerwyn Price and Jamie Lewis. We're going to move on to the next game now, and it's the final game of the night, and this one is an all-German affair between Gabriel Clemens and Nico Kurz, and this one's a really interesting one, actually, because, of course, it's an all-German affair. When we look at the rankings of both players, Gabriel Clemens we haven't seen so far. Of course, it's the first time he plays in the tournament, with it being in the second round. He's 31st ranked in the world. Nico Kurz ranked 129th in the world, so there's a very, very big difference between the two players. But for Nico Kurz, got a 3-1 win against Andy Hamilton. Now, I didn't actually get to see this game, so I don't know whether it was a convincing performance or not, which is a real shame because I would have actually liked to have seen how Andy Hamilton was because it was his first game back, but it was the night where I had issues with my stream, so I couldn't actually watch it, which was a real shame indeed. So anybody in the chat who knows how Nico Kurz played in that game, then definitely tell me in the chat. But this one's a very interesting game because both German players, and in terms of how Nico Kurz played in that match, statistics-wise, he averaged 87.91 in that game, got 180, 34.38% on his checkouts against Andy Hamilton in that match. But it's a very different ball game. He comes up against Gabriel Clemens, who recently played in the Players' Championship finals back at the end of November. He lost his last game he played, he lost, which was to Ian White, which he lost 6-3. But his two last wins, one was against Kleermaker, which was a 6-5 win, and then he also got a 5-2 win against Joe Cullen as well, which was certainly a very good win for him indeed. His other 3 games that he played in the last 5, he had a 6-3 loss, as I said, to Ian White, a 5-2 loss to Adam Hunt, and then a 5-1 loss to not Gabriel Clemens, of course that is Gabriel Clemens, to Michael van Gerwen, the player you would expect him to lose to. So this game is going to be underway in a moment. In terms of my predictions for this match, I think it's going to end either 3-0 to Gabriel Clemens or 3-1. I expect this to probably be one of the quicker games of the night. Now, as I said, I haven't really seen anything of Nico Kurz because it was the night I couldn't go live and stream, which was very annoying indeed. So I can't really base it off of that match against Andy Hamilton. However, you guys will know a little bit more about Nico Kurz than I do because this is my first time seeing him on the hockey. Can he provide maybe another potential shock on the cards? He's going to come into this, he's going to be hungry. I mean, Andy Hamilton coming back into the World Darts Championship for quite some time was certainly an interesting one, but ultimately in the end it just didn't come off for him. But this is a bigger test. This is a much bigger test. A real tough game in his hands here against Gabriel Clemens. But this game will be underway in a moment. Nico Kurz just coming out onto the hockey here, as is Gabriel Clemens. And as I said, do put your predictions in the chat for this one. It should be a very, very good game indeed. And once again, I will apologise for the drop-in of frames if you've seen any lag at any point in these streams. I am on McDonald's Wi-Fi. It feels like it. I'm on Virgin Media Wi-Fi. It's awful. But the Wi-Fi might be a little bit laggy at times, so I do apologise if it slightly freezes at points. It is just the fact that Virgin Media is worse than McDonald's Wi-Fi, so I apologise for that. But Gabriel Clemens coming out onto the hockey here for the final game of the evening. If you're wondering in terms of when we're live again tomorrow, I'm going to be live once again at 6:10, as I always am, for Day 8 of the World Darts Championship. If you're wondering what's coming up tomorrow night, we've got some very good games indeed. Danny Noppert taking on Cameron Carroliston, who was given a bye, of course, into the second round because of Kleermaker, unfortunately contracting COVID. Devon Pedersen comes up, or Pedersen technically, is coming up against Steve Lennon. Rob Cross takes on Dirk van Duijvenbode. That is going to be a great game to watch, of course. Rob Cross, the 2018 World Darts Championship winner. And the pick of the bunch, the game I'm looking forward to the most. Paul Lim is back in action on Tuesday night because he's facing Dimitri van den Berg in what is going to be a very tough game. Surely, lightning can't strike twice for Paul Lim. Or can it? We'll have to find out tomorrow night either way. I'll be live from 6:10 for those matches. In terms of the afternoon games, I won't be live for those, but there's some very good games still going on from 12 o'clock tomorrow GMT time. Brendan Dolan, we get to see him for the first time against Edward Fulks, who became an overnight sensation at the World Darts Championship. Joe Cullen, he comes up against Wayne Jones. Pick of the round 2 ties, in my opinion, so far, sees Simon Whitlock taking on the Lithuanian Darius Labanauskas. And then an out-of-form Adrian Lewis plays an in-form Danny Baggish. Question is, will Adrian Lewis turn up like he always does at the Ali Pali, or will we see Danny Baggish go through to the third round? We'll have to find out indeed. But either way, we are about to get underway in this match between Gabriel Clemens and Nico Kurz, the final game of the evening. If you have enjoyed it, of course, do leave a like and subscription. I have seen we've had another new subscriber, so a big thank you to whoever did sub. It's greatly appreciated indeed. But Gabriel Clemens, ranked 31st in the world, of course, just getting himself into the top 32 seed, which means he was, of course, given a bye into the second round. The question is, can he beat the 108th ranked player in the world, Nico Kurz? A very young player. Didn't get to see him in that previous match, and he will be hungry in an all-German affair. This should be a very, very good game to watch indeed. But can he provide a shock on the hands tonight? We've seen a few seeds falling out of the competition early on. Of course, Ian White being one of them today, who was knocked out as a seed. Are we about to see another one drop tonight in the second round of the World Darts Championship? Gabriel Clemens, one of those players very similar, I would have said, to the likes of Gerwyn and Ratajski, who's a very good player on his day, but ultimately could do better. He'll be looking to try and get towards the quarter-final stages, if not one better. And Clemens here going to start off with 139 to leave yourself 209 here. Nico Kurz at 285, and as I said, I didn't get to see much. In fact, I didn't get to see anything with Nico Kurz in that game against Andy Hamilton. So this is my first real impression of him as a player. But Gabriel Clemens, you would expect to go on and win this game, essentially speaking. Gets 220s here, needs a treble on the board, which he doesn't get, and only gets 60 on the board. But he will be able to check out 149 for Gabriel Clemens here. Nico Kurz at 242. So it means he'll have at least 3 darts here. And in fact, he'll have at least... Well, I was about to say he'll have at least 6 darts, but Kurz did get 100. So 142 for Kurz and 149 for Clemens here. He's not going to be able to check it out in the end, Clemens. But he can leave himself with a good finish. With a treble. And only gets 49. So 100 for Clemens needed. And Nico Kurz at 142. Welcome back to the stream, buddy. Bernie Smith, he did indeed win. Won 3 sets to 2 in the end. Going price. It was a very good game, actually. Very tough one. But Kurz down to 60. Clemens down at 100. Treble 20, double 20 needed here. Gets the treble 20, Clemens. Which means he needs tops for the first leg on the board. Now he needs double 10. Big pressure here on Clemens early on. And he gets it. Good, comfortable dart there from Gabriel Clemens. And he goes one leg up in this game. And that is a good start for the German. We'll certainly want to put some pressure on Nico Kurz here. Don't allow the youngster any opportunity to get in this game, because we saw Gerwyn Price giving Jamie Lewis the first set of the match and allowing him to have a foothold early on in the game. And, well, we had a real nervous start to that match, didn't we, for the third-ranked player in the world. And what you don't want to do is let Nico Kurz in as he gets to 180 on the board. And that's the first 180 of the game. And Nico Kurz, potential chance maybe for a 9-darter. We still haven't really had a big opportunity for a 9-darter so far. I think we've had one chance where somebody got all the way down to, I think towards it was nearly 7 darts. But he gets a 20 here. Gets another treble 20. Can he get another one on the board? Here we go, another 180. That's 2. We haven't got a chance here for a potential 9-darter. What a chance this could be for Nico Kurz at a 9-darter. Are we about to see the first 9-darter at the Ali Pali? Treble 20, treble 19, double 12. Big moment, big pressure here on the youngster. And he's not going to get it. He's nowhere near. Boo! He's absolutely nowhere near. He gets the 20. Boo! He's miles away. And, well, I think maybe the nerves might have come into play there. Had to pop out and miss the game. Yeah, it was a very good game overall, Bernie. Very good match. Jamie Lewis pretty much took him all the way, but he bust a double 16 at one point, and basically after that, Gerwyn Price kind of pretty much ran riot for the rest of it. So it was a good game overall, but a few mistakes cost Jamie Lewis in the end. But Nico Kurz down to 20 here. Gabriel Clemens at 164. He's not going to be able to check out here, Clemens, after hitting a 4. So 3 darts here with the double 10, and a chance for 1 leg apiece in this first set. after a potential 9-darter chance. He gets it. And that's a very good leg on the board there for Nico Kurz, who could have hit a 9-darter if he wasn't a little bit more nervous there. But a very good start for Nico Kurz here, who just establishes that he's not going to be an easy target to beat in this game. So that for sure. And they have played each other before. I think it was in the German Super League, I think they played. I can't remember who won it in the end, but they played each other, I think, before. As you would expect, of course, two German players playing. You would expect them to, at some point, come up against each other. Maybe once or twice, but Nico Kurz here gets himself 135. So he's down to 307. Gabriel Clemens at 418. And this is going to be a very, very nervy game for Gabriel Clemens, I think. One of those players, I think, Nico Kurz, where, you know, he's certainly an up-and-coming player of the future. And he'll be hungry to try and get into that third round as he hits a 7 here. And that's not really a good dart at all there. And only gets 47. So Kurz down to 260. Gabriel Clemens at 361. Good opportunity here to capitalise on the 47 of Nico Kurz. Which he does. And gets himself 100. Big opportunities early on in this game, as you would expect. So Clemens here. 220s. Only gets 60. A little bit of a slog so far for Nico Kurz in this third leg of the first set. But Gabriel Clemens not necessarily capitalising on those mistakes. Only gets 57. And this is a very edgy third leg in this first set. 200 Kurz he's currently on. 204 for Clemens. Kurz here getting a 5, treble 20 and a 20. So 85 for Kurz. He's down to a finish of a 115. Clemens at 204, so it means he's going to get at least 3 darts here at the 115. But how much pressure is he going to be under? And the answer is he's under a major pressure, because a 140 for Clemens puts him down to 64. So 64 for Clemens and 115 for Kurz. Gets a treble 20. Gets 15, which means tops for 115 checkout. And that is a great 115 checkout there from Nico Kurz. How about that? He's such a calm player early on in this game. As I said, didn't get to see him in that last match against Andy Hamilton, but he looks so composed on the stage. The only time I've seen a little bit of nerves was the 9-darter opportunity, but that is expected. I think most of us would certainly be a bit nervous if we had a 9-darter chance at the Ali Pali at the World Darts Championship. But 401 here for Nico Kurz after 6 darts. And Clemens gets 81 to leave himself down at 2.9, I think 7. Yes, 2.97. So a good opportunity here for Clemens to capitalise. But Kurz on for a 180, which he gets. And that is another 180 on the board. And that is the third 180 of the match. Nico Kurz flying with the 180s here. And he looks very, very good, I have to say. Question is, can he come out with a set, or will Clemens take the first set of this match? So 2-2-1 here for Kurz. And he looks really strong. Gets 100 to leave himself 1-2-1. So he's going to have at least 3 darts here at the 1-2-1 with Clemens back at 2-3-8. How much pressure can Clemens put on Kurz, though? Gets 2 treble 20s. Needs another one. And doesn't get it. But a 140 should do. 140 should be enough. So 98 there for Clemens. 1-2-1 for Nico Kurz. We've already seen a ton plus finish from Kurz. Gets treble 20. Gets 11, which means bullseye. And doesn't get it. He gets the outer ball. So big opportunities now for Clemens in this game. Needs treble 20, double 19. Gets 20. Gets 18, and he won't be able to get an opportunity there. And Gabriel Clemens gives a chance for Nico Kurz to get the first set on the board of the game. 9 and 2 darts at double 8. And I think he's got 14. Which means he's only going to get 1 dart at the double 4. And he's busted his score. And that is the first time we've really seen major nerves. And there's a chance here for a double 20. A double 10 for Clemens, and he gets it. And it's 2 legs apiece. And Kurz, with a real opportunity to take the first set of the game, now finds himself 2 legs apiece and potential chance to go 1 set down. And it was the singles he was missing. Really poor there from Kurz. And as I said, that was the first kind of moment we've seen nerves from the player, apart from that 9 dart opportunity in that original. I think it was the second leg. Chance here for 180 though for Clemens, and he gets it. And that's the first 180 on the board for Gabriel Clemens. That's 4 in the match. And he's starting to put some pressure on Nico Kurz now, who does fight back with a 1-2-5. We've already had a 9 darter opportunity in this game. Could we maybe see another one? Gets a treble 20, Clemens. And he doesn't get another treble 20, which is a shame because he gets a 140 there. And it'd be nice to have another 9 darter opportunity in the match. So Clemens down to 181 here. Kurz at 276. Really needs a treble after getting 220s, which he doesn't. And Clemens is going to have a decent opportunity here to be able to put himself with a decent finish. Only gets 39 and only gets 56. So Clemens down at 124. Kurz with a good opportunity to pressure that 124 if he can get his 216 down. Gets the treble 5, gets the treble 20 and gets 91. So Kurz down at 121 here. Clemens at 124. 20 for Clemens. Treble 18 bull, which he's not going to get because he hits the 1. And he just takes a step back here, Clemens. What a awful mistake there. But he does get 78. So Clemens down to 46. Nico Kurz is going to have to hit this 1-2-1. Gets the treble 20. Now needs treble 11. Which he doesn't get. But he's got a chance for bull. For the set. Big moment in this game. Can he do it? Oh, he can't. He hits the outer bull. And now there's a chance here for Clemens. 14 double 6 or 6 and tops. Goes 14. 2 darts at double 16, which he gets. And Gabriel Clemens takes advantage of the mistakes that Nico Kurz has made. And well, we should have been saying about 5 minutes ago that Nico Kurz should have been 1-0 up in sets. But Gabriel Clemens capitalises on the mistakes that Nico Kurz makes and goes 1-0 up in this set. Very, very good indeed there from Gabriel Clemens. 1-0 up. Be back in a moment. That is the first set done between Gabriel Clemens and Nico Kurz, and as it currently stands, it is 1-0 to Gabriel Clemens in this game. And welcome to stream, Maurice GGG, thank you very much for joining. I know name saying, yeah, Gabriel with the first set there. Yeah, it is one of those games where Nico Kurz should have probably been saying himself there that he should be 1 set up to 0, but he made a mistake, busting his score. Very similar to the Jamie Lewis situation, actually. Busted his score, I think more from nerves from anything, and eventually allowed Gabriel Clemens to take that first set in the end. In terms of the stats so far of the match, we've had an 89.66 average for Gabriel Clemens, a 90.95 average for Nico Kurz. So playing very well indeed, Nico Kurz, but ultimately, as I said, just gave away the set there to Gabriel Clemens, and that could be a real difference maker in a match like this. There's been 4 180s, 3 of them for Nico Kurz, 1 of them for Gabriel Clemens. There's been 7 140 pluses in the match. There's 3 for Nico and 4 for Clemens. But it's checkouts, 60% on checkouts there, 3 out of 5 for Clemens, 40% for Nico Kurz. So he's not necessarily doing bad in terms of his checkouts, but realistically, he busted his score and easily allowed Gabriel Clemens to come back into the match and take the first set. And it's moments like that in games like this which allow opportunities to maybe for players, not necessarily to run away with things, but it can really linger on the mind. And I have to say, I think the Jamie Lewis one, there wasn't really much time for that to linger on his mind to be able to be thinking about it. But this one could really cost Nico Kurz there. Obviously young, not necessarily inexperienced player because he's been at the World Darts Championship before, but one of those players I think where, you know, he will probably have that on his mind for quite a bit, depending on how the rest of this game goes. But we're about to get back underway in a moment. If you're new to the stream, as always, do leave a like and a subscription on the channel. It is very, very greatly appreciated indeed. Chris has put, I've no longer got runny nose. It's trying to get rid of this cough. Watching the darts seems to get rid of it. Honestly, unbelievable. The darts is the best way to cure anything, I'll tell you that for sure, Chris. Been a good night overall. We've had another new subscriber, so for whoever subscribed, a big thank you very much indeed. It's greatly, greatly appreciated indeed. But we are now back underway, or about to get back underway at the very least, with this match between Gabriel Clemens and Nico Kurz. And right now, Gabriel Clemens is 1 set up to nothing, and on for a 180 here to start. Would you get to 140 to leave himself down at 3-6-1 after 3 darts? And the important thing here for Nico is don't let that get you down. Play as if it's 0-0 in sets and legs. Think of it as a new game, and worry about that. The busting late on and when the game's done, you can look back at your performance then and say, you know, I need to sort out, you know, my finishing and things like that. But worry about that later on, because right now you're on the Ali Pali stage. It's a place that I think all of us could dream of being, and he's still got a very good opportunity to go through to the next round. He's only 1 set down, but he has to make sure he doesn't go 2 down, because you would expect a player like Clemens to be able to finish him off and go with a 3-0 victory. But Clemens down to 1-6-1 here. Kurz all the way back at 4-2, so he's going to have at least 6 darts at that 1-6-1. Treble 20, treble 17 bull, but you'd assume he will just leave himself with a relatively decent finish here, Gabriel Clemens. Gets a treble 5, then 20. Really needs another treble here, which he doesn't get. So 53 for Gabriel Clemens, puts him down to 108. Nico Kurz all the way back at 3-4-2. Gets a 5, treble 20 and a 20. And he'll have at least another 6 darts at the 108. Gets the treble 19. And he gets another 19, so it goes double 16. And just doesn't get it, which means he will have at least another 3 darts at the double 16. Potentially we could have Peter Wright versus Clemens in the next round, which would be a bloody good game to watch, I'll tell you that for sure. But still plenty of time left in this game. We can't count out Nico Kurz. So double 16 here for Clemens, which he gets. And that is the first leg on the board of this second set. And as I said, for Kurz, I think the worry in a game like this is you don't want to let Gabriel Clemens get a foothold in a game like this and start running away with things. Or else you could find yourself under quite a bit of pressure right now, which he certainly will be feeling on that Ali Pali stage. I mean, he had a chance for a 9-darter, which was fantastic, apart from the 20, which was really poor when he had an opportunity with the 6th dart. The treble 20 was nowhere bloody near it. But he is hitting the treble 20s now. He gets one of them and gets himself 100. So Kurz down to 3-4-1 after 6 darts. Can Gabriel Clemens do any better? Gets a 20. Gets another 20. And 19. So 59. Kurz had a good run last year, so no mug. I can't remember who did he play last year, because to me a lot of last year's World Darts Championship was a bit of a blur, to be honest, because it was obviously I was into darts at that point, but I wasn't like properly majorly focused on it. It was kind of something I was watching in the background alongside sport. But this year for me, it is literally a case of between now and January, apart from that Boxing Day period where there's no darts on, I don't care about any other sport. I don't care about football. I don't care about anything else. I'm literally focused on the darts. And, yeah, it's just darts left, right and centre right now. And as much as, you know, COVID has been a bad thing, what it's certainly given us a positive is that because the World Darts Championship is on and there's fuck all to do, It basically means I got to sit here and watch this. Is the chance for a 160 checkout? Oh, that is beautiful. Nico Kurz with a 160 checkout, and that might be the confidence builder for the young German to try and get back in this game at one leg apiece. Really, really good there from Nico Kurz with a 160 checkout. And as I said, I can't remember the run he was on last year, but very, very good checkout there. As he's on for a 180 here to continue that good run. And he gets the 180. And that puts him down to 3-2-1. And maybe another chance at a 9-darter? Probably not. You never know, though. Only 58 there for Clemens, which means Clemens is down at 3-4-7 after 6 starts. Nico Kurz at 3-2-1. Starts with a 20. Then a treble 7. And then a 19. So only 60 there for Nico Kurz. Lost to Humphries in 3rd round last year. Which is not a bad run at all. Not a bad run at all. And, I mean, even now, he's done very well to get into the 2nd round. And he's fighting very well to try and get into that 3rd round. But fair play to him. Obviously, I didn't get to watch that game with him, with Andy Hamilton, because I had issues with my Now TV account. I couldn't get onto it. But luckily, I can watch it now, which is fantastic indeed. And, of course, it'd be very nice to see how this competition continues on. But what I'm going to do is, from tomorrow, we'll be live from 6:10. I'm going to try and see if I can get a bit more lighting on stream, because, I mean, to be fair, it's not massively dark, but it still looks a little bit dark on my screen. But Clemens here at 2-2-9. Kurz at 1-2-3. Can Clemens put the pressure on here? Gets treble 20, 20, and another 20 to make 100. So both players at a very even score. Oh god, apologies for yawning. It's been a very busy day of travelling. But chance here for 1-2-3, check out the ball, and he gets it. Another ton plus checkout from Nico Kurz. A 1-2-3 checkout, and he's 2-1 up on legs against Gabriel Clemens in this 2nd set, and has an opportunity to make it 1 set apiece. He's had 3 ton plus checkouts of 115, 123 and 160, and he's on for a 180. He gets himself 140 to start this 4th leg of the 2nd set. He looks a very cool and calm player. Have to give him credit. He is making Gabriel Clemens work very hard to get a result in this game. Clemens responds with a 140 of his own, so both players at 3-6-1 in this game. In terms of the averages, Kurz averaging about 90.48, Clemens averaging 88.54. Chance here for a 180 though for Clemens, which he doesn't get, but he does get a 140. Good to see Andy Hamilton back. Shame he lost. Yeah, it was a shame, because that was one of the games I was actually looking forward to watching to see how Andy Hamilton was. But in the end, I didn't get to watch the game. I obviously couldn't. I might watch it actually once this stream is finished and just see how he played in the end. I know he's out, but I'd like to see what he's like. But chance here for 180 for Clemens. Gets himself 121, so he's down to 100. Nico Kurz at 161 here. Treble 20. Treble 17. Oh, he's on for a 4th ton plus 161. Oh, what a checkout from Nico Kurz. 3 ton plus checkouts in a row. How about that? That is incredible from Nico Kurz. That is brilliant. And look at the smile on a young kid's face. That is incredible checkouts from Nico Kurz there. And that is well deserved. 1 set apiece in this game, and my lord, we've said about players on good finishing in this tournament so far. Nico Kurz with 3 ton plus finishers in a row. Incredible. 161 checkout there. One of the highest checkouts we've seen of the tournament so far. That is absolutely incredible from Nico Kurz, and it's 1 set apiece in a game that I've got to say, I think Gabriel Clemens here will be a little bit worried. We were saying in that first original set after it had finished that the important thing for Nico Kurz was to not to not think about the busting of his score in that original first set, which of course gave Gabriel Clemens that original first set on the board to go 1-0 up. But I tell you one thing, he's certainly not let that get to his head, and he's absolutely flying right now. Incredible. 3 ton-plus checkouts in a row, and gets himself one piece in terms of one set apiece in this game. And, wow, fair play to him. I would probably say he's looking the better player right now, and in terms of the stats, he certainly is looking like the better player. Gabriel Clemens averaging a 90.46 in comparison to Nico Kurz 92.25. There's been 5 180s in the match, 4 of them have gone to Nico Kurz, 1 to Gabriel Clemens. He's thrown Nico 7 140 pluses in comparison to Gabriel Clemens 9 140 pluses. But in terms of checkouts, they're both playing very, very well indeed. It's an even game. 57.14% for Gabriel Clemens. That's 4 out of 7 potential checkouts. And then Nico Kurz has checked out 62.5% of his darts. That's 5 out of 8 darts on a checkout. So it's been an absolutely fantastic game to watch so far. Really, really enjoyable. And right now, this one's quite hard to tell what's going to go on. I mean, I said 3-1 to Gabriel Clemens, but that was based on a prediction of not really seeing Nico Kurz play here. But I tell you one thing, with the way he's playing, Gabriel Clemens is going to have to do something special to win this game, because right now it's one set apiece, and well, everything's going to be playing into Nico Kurz's hands. Chris, will we see a new winner to win the Worlds? Who knows? Who knows? It's going to be an interesting competition when we get to those latter stages and we see the likes of maybe Peter Wright maybe coming up against like a Gerwyn Price, or Michael van Gerwen, for example, coming up against, I don't know who's in his bracket, but the best players, like James Wade in that, for example, knocking out those big players who are the top 10 seeded players. You never know. That's the thing. It's going to be an interesting competition either way to see what happens. But do I think we'll see a new winner? Probably not. I think we'll see somebody who's already won it, which therefore means it'd either be Michael van Gerwen or Rob Cross, but or Peter Wright, of course. Let's not forget Peter Wright on there. But you never know. As I said, I said Gerwyn Price and Michael van Gerwen in the final. So who knows? Who knows? But right now, Gabriel Clemens won, Nico Kurz won, and Nico Kurz is certainly putting in a performance and a half in this game. 3 ton-plus finishes in a row and a massive smile on his face after that second set. And Gabriel Clemens, as I alluded to a moment ago, has got some work to do in this game if he wants to get anything back in this match. The question is, can he do it? Or will we see a Kurz whitewash? We're now back underway with this game. 1 set apiece in a lovely, lovely game. And a very enjoyable night so far. We've had some pretty decent games. Of course, that game between Wright and Huybrechts was good to watch. The Price Lewis game was good to watch. Ratajski with a very nice performance, of course. Ryan Joyce doing very well indeed. But we get to that stage of the competition now where realistically the majority of round 2 games are going to be very good matches to watch. Very high standard. And of course, when you get into round 3, that's when you'll see the very best of the very best competing off against each other. But Chris, would like to see Smith or Dave Chisnall win it. Both are too good not to win anything. Yeah, I think Michael Smith is an interesting one because he is in very good form. And I mean, if you've seen the bookies and the bookies odds for kind of favourites to go on and win the tournament, he's up there, I think, in the top 3 in terms of Sky Bet. So they think he could go on and win it. And now he's got a title to his belt. Of course, I think he got 2 of the Winter Series victories to his name. It gives him that confidence. He's had a very good 2020. Made the final of the World Cup of Darts, which, yes, isn't as serious as the rest, but still made a final in the end. But who knows? It's all about Michael Smith not doing what he usually does and bottling it, which is what we usually tend to expect from him. But Nico Kurz here down to 141. Clemens at a 160. We aren't going to see a ton-plus finish here for Nico Kurz this time. But he can leave himself with a decent score, which he does. So 85 off 141 leaves Kurz with 56. Clemens going to have to check out the 160 here. Sorry about yawning. As I said, long day of travelling. That's all I can say. So Clemens not going to be able to check out the 160, which leaves an opportunity for Nico Kurz at the 56, 16 and double 20 to take the first leg of this second set. Guess the 16. Good marker for the second for darts. Just going to take a moment to compose himself here, Nico. Is that the right decision? It is indeed. That's a lovely dart into the tops. And that's the first leg of the second set on the board. Nico Kurz. Not necessarily some breathing space right now, because it's only one leg up. If he can get the next leg, he'll certainly be feeling a little bit more comfortable that he can win the second set to his name and the third set of the match overall. But coming back to your point, Chris, I think Chisnell is one of those players that has surely got to get something soon. Surely. Yeah, I mean, he's a great player on his day, and the fact that he hasn't got anything to his name this year is mad when you think about it. But there's so many good players that deserve to get something out of tournaments and tend to play very well indeed. That's why the darts is so good. There's just too many bloody good players in the world of darts that the World Darts Championship is always impossible to tell what's going to go on. And that's why it's so special. That's why it's so good to watch. And every year, you know, I can't wait, hopefully, next year to be able to go to the tournament because it's just an incredible atmosphere. But Gabriel Clemens here, looking likely to get himself a leg on the board. Nico Kurz all the way back at 236 while Clemens is on 86. Gets treble 18, which means 2 darts to the double 16. He only needs 1 dart to the double 16, which means he's 1 leg apiece in this third set. And just a slight, you know, nod of appreciation there from Gabriel Clemens in the fact that he's hit the leg. And of course, everything seems to be going his way, not his way right now. Nico Kurz looking the more positive of the two players in this match. And you've just got to make sure, especially for Gabriel Clemens here, that he kind of lays a marker down and says here to Nico Kurz that you might have won, you know, 3 or 4 legs on the bounce, but realistically speaking, I'm not going to let you win this game without a fight. And he's going to have to prove if he wants to do that. Although Kurz here is only at 346 after 6 darts. Clemens at 404. And he only gets 58, which means Clemens is only down at 346 himself after 6 starts. The man behind is saying, I don't think Wright will retain the title. Yeah, I don't think he will, if I'm being honest with you. I think he'll be up there towards the last stage of the competition, don't get me wrong, but I think it's going to be tough for him as Clemens gets a 180 on the board, and that gives him some breathing space in this set. He's down to a 166, and with Kurz back at 286, he's going to have to try and get a 180 of his own, or at least a 140, which he gets 100. So both players roughly around to a decent score. Clemens at 166 and Kurz at 186. How are we doing erratically? Thank you very much for joining us on stream. Hope you're all good, buddy. This is basically sports radio. Yeah, to be fair, I could easily just turn my camera off and just sit here and commentate on it, but I like having the camera on. It's nice, isn't it? It's nice to be able to look into the camera and talk as if I'm talking to you. So Clemens here, double 16. Now needs double 8 to take a 2-1 leg lead, which he gets. And that is a big moment in the game. Gabriel Clemens, for the first time in a little while, takes a lead in this game. And just as Nico Kurz thought he was going to take a foothold of this match, Gabriel Clemens now just starting to get back into this game. And this is a very topsy-turvy match, I'll tell you that for sure. We were seeing the smile at the end of that second set with Nico Kurz with the 3-ton plus finishes. He's not smiling now, I'll tell you that for sure. There's a much more serious look on Nico Kurz's face compared to what we were saying about 5 minutes ago. In terms of their doubles, both playing spot on right now. 60% on their doubles, 6 out of 10. Both of them on that, by the way, as I said a moment ago. Best sports radio on YouTube. Thank you very much, honestly. It's greatly appreciated, guys. Very, very appreciated indeed, I'll tell you. We'll have a lot more darts watch-alongs in the future. A lot more. Especially with the support that you guys have given. Because I look at it and I think to myself that 4 hours is a long time to be sat there and be talking about any sport, whether it be darts or football or anything like that. But it's one of those where it tends to feel like it's gone very quick because you guys put your comments in, you put your questions in. We have loads of talking points in between, you know, when the games go a little bit dead. And it's good, isn't it, to just have a few talking points. Metaphorically, you're talking to yourself, but realistically, you're talking to us. Yeah, exactly. Realistically, I'm sat in a room right now talking to myself. Welcome to the stream, William Rourke. Thank you very much for joining us. How are you today, buddy? And welcome to the match, Shingai. Thank you very much for joining. He says, just joined. What are the checkout percentages right now? In terms of the checkout percentages, 60% for both players. 6 out of 10 for both Gabriel Clemens and Nico Kurz. It's been a very good game indeed. William is spamming the chat. Hi, bye, hi, bye. Are you staying or are you going, William? What are you doing, buddy? So 82 here for Nico Kurz. Needs bull and double 16. Gabriel Clemens on double 10, so he's got to take this out. Gets the bull. Which he's doing very well to get the bull quite often here, Nico Kurz. So double 16 required. First dart a little bit awkward. And second dart he doesn't get. So big chance here for Gabriel Clemens to go 2-1 up on sets. All he needs is double 10. He should get it. Now needs double 5. Got one dart, double 5. And he doesn't get it. And well, we could be going to a deciding leg here. Double 8 for Nico Kurz. And we'll be at 2 legs apiece in this third set. First dart a little bit too high. Second dart a little bit too high for darts. Doesn't go in, which means Clemens now with the opportunity to hit the double 5 and go 2 sets up in this game. Will he do it this time? The answer is yes, he will. And that's a reaction from Clemens. And he goes 2-1 up on sets in this game. And a little bit of a poor moment there in terms of checkouts. We were saying a moment ago to Shingai, of course. Checkouts both being 60%. I think that might have dropped down very slightly. But 2 sets to 1. And Gabriel Clemens is potentially very minimum 3 legs away from the knockout stages. Well, the knockout stages, it is the knockout stages. The round, third round knockout stages. I'm so used to bloody football competitions. I'm so used to the Champions League and doing those... commentating on those games that realistically I forgot it's a bloody knockout tournament. Right, I'm unfortunately William, you was given a warning in the chat. You was given a warning in the chat not to spam, and you are spamming again, so unfortunately I'm gonna have to time you out. Sorry about that, buddy. So 180 there for Clemens while I was sorting that problem out. 140 response though from Kurz. It's 261 for Clemens, 277 for Nico Kurz. Only 57 for Clemens, which means there's a good opportunity here for Kurz to take advantage. Gets a 20. Gets a treble. Really needs another one here. Treble 20. Which he get, oh, no, he doesn't get, actually. Sorry, he only gets 100. I thought he got the treble 20 there. But 177 for Nico Kurz. And Clemens here will be hoping that he can just whitewash the rest of this 4th set and win it 3 legs to 0, but he's going to have a tough job in his hands here because Nico Kurz has got himself down by 137 to 40. So Clemens is going to have to hit this 108 here. Gets a 19. Treble 19. So he needs double 16 for a 108 checkout, which he gets. And that is a big, big leg in the match. Just how important could that checkout be from Gabriel Clemens? A 108 checkout there. Big ton plus finish from Gabriel Clemens there. And we've seen 4 ton plus finishes from Nico Kurz. But the time where he needed a ton plus finish the most, he turns up and he gets the first leg of this 4th set. And now you would expect the advantage to be in the hands of Gabriel Clemens. Don't see point in spam high back. Yeah, as Danny put, it's trolling. Unfortunately, I think that, you know, you get a lot of people which come into streams and they'll spam, you know, they'll spam stuff, or they'll come in and just dislike. And I understand with people disliking because I'm not the most enjoyable person to watch, and I do kind of think that sometimes disliking is a good way to show whether people like it or not. But ultimately, in the end, as I said, you do get the odd troll which comes in, but you quickly just get rid of them. And, well, you time them out, you hide them on the channel, and you never see the comments again. So, you know, you just... always the best thing to do is just ignore it. As Clemens gets a 180, you just have to ignore the trolls. He's down to 81 here. Kurz at 3-2-3. He's going to have at least 6 darts here at treble 19, double 12. big chance in this game. And as Shingai says, I think that seals it. Momentum is firmly with Clemens now. Yeah, absolutely spot on indeed. So treble 19, double 12 for Clemens, and he gets it. And that's a 2-leg lead in the 4th set. And surely now we've got a real opportunity for Gabriel Clemens to take this game 3 legs to nothing in this 4th set. And as Shingai perfectly put, the momentum is well and truly in the hands of Gabriel Clemens here. And Kurz is going to have to win the next 3 legs if he wants to take this to a deciding set. Dislikes of you, so take them. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's the best way to look at it. As I say, I always like to if you get dislikes, it's always a good kind of rough idea to see whether people enjoy your content or not too. But 140 for Kurz here in his first 3 darts. Clemens, though, here with a treble 20, a 5, and a big treble 20 to get 125 at 316. Very, very nervous time here for Nico Kurz. And, look, you have to give him some credit here. He's played very well in this match. And I'll tell you what, all the games we've had today have been very good. All 8 plays, you could quite easily say, Clemens gets another 180 on the board. Now he's really showing what he can do. That's the 9th 180 of the match. He's flying in this game. But realistically, all the players that have played today have been very, very good indeed in this tournament. Been very, very good. Gabriel Clemens doing very, very well indeed in this game. So he's down to 136 here. And he's down to 40 now. Kurz at 201. So double 20 required in this game for Clemens to win the match. Can he get it? First dart a little bit too high. Second dart means he needs double 10. And he doesn't get it. So there's a chance here for Nico Kurz just to take this game on for a little bit longer. Double 12 to just take this on to an extra leg. And he gets it. So we're going on in this game. And maybe there's a chance for Nico to come back in this game. He needs to win the next 2 legs in a row if he wants to take this to a deciding set. Will the nerves kick in for Gabriel Clemens? How you doing, Cal? Hope you're all good, buddy. He says, hey, Josh, just thought I'd pop in to say hi. How are you tonight? And is the darts going in your favour? Hope you're all good, lad. Good to see you as always, buddy. It's been really enjoyable. I'm not too bad. Back at home for a little bit with the Christmas period, as you can tell. But yeah, no, in terms of the darts, as Kurz gets a 180 here, been really, really enjoyable. And not just in terms of the actual matches, but the streams themselves, they've been brilliant. Never expect them to do well, but... Oh! 180 from Clemens as well. How about that for a response? Did Rusbray go off? No, he probably didn't. So Paul Links can go off as well with 180. 4 players on for 9 darter. Kurz starts here though with 2 treble 5s. And only gets 50. How can Clemens respond here on 3-2-1? Gets a treble 20. Gets a 20, so no 9 darter opportunity sadly. But he does get a treble 19 and he is down to 184 with Kurz back at 271. It's going to be very nervy now for Kurz. He's got to get a good score and he only gets 59, which means now the hands of this game, the game is in the hands of Clemens, is what I wanted to say there before I cocked my words up. So Clemens gets 83 to leave 101. Kurz here at 212, he's going to have to get at least a 140 to put the pressure on. Gets a 20. Gets a 20, needs the treble, and he doesn't get it, which means that Clemens down at 101, Kurz down at 152. Gets a 20, Clemens. Gets a 19, which means he's not going to be able to check out. Can Kurz, who's got big ton plus finishes in this match, get a 152? He's had 4 ton pluses. Gets a treble 20, needs another one. Doesn't get it. And won't be able to go for it, which means now 52 required for Clemens. 20 and double 16 to take the game and go through to the next round. Double 16. Oh, awkward. And he's missed it. Oh, which means Nico Kurz on 52 as well has an opportunity here to take us to a deciding leg in this 4th set. He needs 52 himself. Gets 12. Goes tops. And doesn't get it. Only 32. It's a bloody awkward angle that Sky Sports showed that from there. Which means now Gabriel Clemens with double 16 has the chance to win the game. And he gets it. And Gabriel Clemens, it took him 6 darts there to get to the double 16. But in the end, he gets the result that he needs. And Gabriel Clemens wins the game 3-1 in a match where you have to say Nico Kurz played very, very well indeed, and you can see the two players hugging it out at the Ali Pali. A fantastic performance there from Gabriel Clemens, a great performance from Nico Kurz. But in the end, one of the Germans had to go out, and it was Nico Kurz who bows out of the competition with an average of just under 90 after hitting 5 180s and 4 ton-plus finishes. But in the end, it's Gabriel Clemens who goes through to the next round, and he will play Peter Wright. What a game that is going to be, of course, in a few days' time after the Christmas break. But a very good match overall. A 95.7 average for Gabriel Clemens, an 89.98 average for Nico Kurz. He got 6 180s Clemens, 5 180s for Nico Kurz. An overall 47.62 is the checkouts for Clemens there, and 43.75 in terms of checkouts for Nico Kurz. Kaz asked, may I ask what white spear-like object is in front of you? It's the microphone that I've got. The microphone that's in front of me today. Just a bit more convenient and placed, so I can actually see my TV screen, because I could put it to the left of me, but if I did that, then I can't see what's bloody going on. But that is a fantastic night of action overall. You've got to give credit, as I said, to Nico Kurz. Played really, really well there. And if you have enjoyed the stream tonight and you've enjoyed the watch along, I know I tend to say it every time we have a break, but we do tend to get a lot of new viewers coming in and out. So for those of you that do tend to watch the stream, I apologise for it. But if you have enjoyed tonight's stream, then do leave a like and subscription, because it is very, very greatly appreciated indeed. But that is tonight's action done at the World Darts Championship. Ratajski beat Ryan Joyce 3-0. Very good game there from Ratajski. Ian White was potentially on course to produce a comeback against Kim Huybrechts, but he won 3-1 in the end, the Belgian. Good result for him. He's going to go on to play Ryan Searle. Gerwyn Price had a little scare against Jamie Lewis, who eventually, of course, Price went on to win the game 3-2 in the end. Very good match that was. And then, of course, we saw a moment ago Gabriel Clemens 3-1 victor to Nico Kurz in that game. And, well, you've got to give credit there to Gabriel Clemens, because it was a very tough match against Nico Kurz, who just kept hitting ton-plus finishes left, right, centre in this match to keep Clemens at bay. But in the end, he goes through to the next round, and he's got a very tough game against Peter Wright. He's cool looking. Thank you very much. He's an awesome mic. I like it indeed. But that is it for tonight's action. In terms of tomorrow's action, we are live once again at 6:10 tomorrow night. But there is an afternoon session, of course, before that. For those of you wondering who's on tomorrow's afternoon session, it's live from 12 GMT. Brendan Dolan takes on the Ali Pali overnight sensation, that is Edward Fulks, of course, the Japanese player. Joe Cullen has an interesting game against Wayne Jones. Pick of round 2, in my opinion, so far. Simon Whitlock takes on the Lithuanian Darius Labanauskas. And then Adrian Lewis, who's been out of form for quite a long time now, and is coming into a game against an in-form Danny Baggish. The question is, will Adrian Lewis turn up at the Ali Pali like he tends to usually do? And then we are live once again tomorrow night, 6:10 as always, on the channel. We've got 4 big games coming up tomorrow night. Danny Noppart takes on Cameron Carolissen, who got a bye into the second round because Martin Kleermacher unfortunately contracted COVID. And then the replacement for him had a family member that contracted COVID as well, which therefore means Carolissen was given a bye into the second round. Devon Pedersen comes up against Steve Lennon, or Pedersen, however you pronounce it. Rob Cross in a brilliant game against Dirk van Dijvenbode. That's going to be a sensational match to watch, of course. The 2018 World Darts Championship winner against a player who's been in fantastic form this year. And then the one match where I think we're all going to be celebrating if Paul Lim wins. Paul Lim taking on Dimitri van den Berg. Can lightning strike twice? For Paul Lim, the legend of the Ali Pali. So as I said, tomorrow I'll be live once again from 6:10 for the World Darts Championship. So don't miss out on that. Mammy No Name saying, okay, I'm out. Thanks for the stream. Good night, guys. Thank you very much, Mammy No Name. Chris saying, great stream as always. Take care, guys. Thank you very much, Chris. And thank you to everybody who's joined as always. Once again, if you're new, do leave a like and subscription. But as for now, I'll be back at 6:10 tomorrow night. Have a fantastic morning, evening, or afternoon, wherever you are, as always. And we will see you tomorrow for day 8 of the World Darts Championship at 6:10. Good night.